of October 14th, 2025. Does anyone have any questions or requested changes? The only thing I picked up on line 272, that is a decision. Am I on the right one here? Wrong one, sorry. No, I didn't have any on these. That's on the next meeting, sorry. Get on the right agenda here. Workshop meeting minutes. Any changes? Okay. Hearing none, is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve minutes.
Oh, can we point?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Bill, you're appointed for Jeff.
Zach?
Motion to approve the minutes.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye, motion carries. Next item on the agenda, the director, Bart, will actually go over the community facilities and utilities draft chapter for the master plan.
Good evening, planning board members. Bart McDonough, planning director. Today, in front of you is, as Val said, the community facilities and utilities chapter. This goes over the town's assets and planning for them from an infrastructure standpoint. So either buildings, road network, stormwater improvements, water and sewer, and so forth. So let's see if I can get this going. In developing this plan, the original one, let's work with it. Actually, you know what? I'm going to stand over here. It's probably be easier. So in the development of this plan, first we'll just talk about what we have. Our last time, our current chapter is called Community Facilities. Last time it was updated was 2001. So it's been a while since the community has revisited this chapter, and then what the chapter has specifically is different buildings, different departments. So for instance, like the library, fire, DPW, basically what their goals were, 5-10 year plan goals. So this isn't really straying from that too much. We're just updating. In the interim, the town has, updated some plans, that kind of would support this chapter. And as you can see here, there's long range studies and evaluations that the town has recently, probably since the earliest 2017, has completed. I do know. I think the next one on the slate is the sewer master plan. So the Department of Environmental Service, Sean, he already did a water master plan that kind of scopes out 20 years. He's going to do a similar plan for the sewer side as well. So that's in the pipeline as of right now. We did our visioning sessions and our outreach surveys. We asked two questions particularly. One about making the school more climate resilient, and a broad support there from respondents. And then we asked, out of the 3 facilities listed here, which one from a 3 to 5, 5 to 8, 8 to 10 year time frame would you support improving first? And as you see here, community facilities, short term, medium term, town hall, and then long term, either town hall or the police station. We wanted to ask this question because the town did a facility study on town hall, police station, and so in preparation For any future potential projects, we want to see where the community was at.
So if anyone is, Bart's on page 15 of our handout.
Yep. So this is just the presentation.
Yeah.
This is the, Then another question we asked about stormwater, and have folks, respondents, kind of what's the most concerning or more the challenges that should be addressed. And the number one answer was dealing with and preventing pollutants from entering local waterways. And then right behind that was three different responses from protecting and preserving natural resources, replacing aging and undersized storm drain systems, and mitigating localized flooding. So again, this is probably, the memory of folks, experiencing different flooding events, still on the back of the mind.
So
And then,
that's
sorry.
interesting. So they're all drainage related.
What's that?
The top three.
Yep. Yeah. So pollutants, and then the other three would be, the second most would be replacing undersized storm drains, then mitigation of localized flooding, and after that, protecting and preserving natural resource water. So I would say, technically, I would say this one and that one could be same, because you're protecting the resource. You don't want to be more polluted.
Another way to say water quality protection and flooding are the two biggest.
Yeah, if you think back to the flooding, it was drainage related with why 108 got all upgraded with culverts and because the Right Oyster River jumped over to the Lamprey. The Moonlight Brook drainage system,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so I think it was-
Piscastic overflowing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still more to deal with.
Yeah.
That's
So
interesting.
this is saying on the header above the graph that where one should be addressed the soonest. So the higher the score, the more long-term or the less urgent. Because the way you're talking doesn't match with
Yeah,
that header.
you're right. So,
So
you're right. Yeah. So that's less on the mind. I misread that. So education would be first about stormwater management. Challenges. These are the challenges that should be addressed first. Yeah.
Right, if
Yeah.
it's,
Well, one should be Yeah, that's a good point, Zach. So
Yeah.
either change the table as they're ranked and then have the graph match.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
the
we can.
graph, prioritizes what should be done soonest.
Mhm.
well, yeah, if they're aligned, then yeah, one. It's just usually you don't put one as the soonest unless they're ranking all six in order, and so then it's just averaging where people ranked each one.
Yeah.
But the question was rank them where one should be addressed the soonest.
Yeah, so if most people put educating as one, and then the others as 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then that would average out. So I'm not
So
quite
I guess
sure
the
how they
question
asked
is,
it, but-
is the score, because you're saying the education was number one and
Yeah.
stormwater was last.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Stormwater's
polluting,
last. Polluting.
is that really how the survey
well, that's what
worked?
I'm wondering is how they asked it. Because if you were given all 6 and you had to order them, and then you averaged people's order, and most people put the educating as like sooner. But
Wow.
I would have
Rank
to
the
look
following
at the-
stormwater management challenges in Newmarket where one should be
Yeah, I
addressed
wonder if
soon.
Understood by the.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't imagine how
Yeah.
many people would say,
It doesn't feel like an
preventing
urgent-
pollutants
yeah.
from waterways
Yeah.
is like the last thing we should be dealing with.
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
So I don't know if the question was confusing to people or just how the score was tabulated doesn't reflect.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, look into that.
Yeah, that would be so misleading.
Mm-hmm.
Nice to have other eyes on things.
Sure. So during the visioning sessions, we wanted to understand where folks are experiencing flooding events. So we did a map, a dot map exercise, and I don't think there's any surprise there where those events have occurred.
Is that map going in the chapter?
Yes, that'll be part one of the
Okay.
maps. Yep.
Oh, I see. Page 12.
So in building up to the chapter development, So again, doing the 5 themes. We start off with a vision for each chapter. And I'll just read for the folks at home. It just says, Newmarket shall strategically invest in community services, educational institutions, and its facilities to improve the well-being of the community. Guided by innovation and solution-driven approaches, town staff, elected officials, volunteers seek to implement measures to ensure resiliency for community facilities through proactive land use planning and capital investment initiatives. The town prioritizes these investments by employing a balanced approach that integrates thoughtful strategies for community growth and preservation. How does everyone feel about that vision? Okay. So our first theme is vibrancy. And I would say the takeaway here is, again, doing more community outreach to understand which facilities that the public would like to see improved. And then also, sorry, go ahead.
Are people going to see, how are we addressing school facilities when people hear municipal?
I think so. It's in here in our plan, and it's also in the current one that's ratified.
So should we say municipal and school facilities, or on the
Yeah,
goal?
I guess since there is a differentiation there, we could say that municipal and school district facilities.
Because at the town level, you speak of them differently, correct?
Yes, they're 2 different entities. And then, yeah, and making sure when there are any updates that, it's cost effective, but also trying to get, quality improvements there as well. So it's kind of finding that balance. And then also emphasizing the capital improvement program, and to ensure that it's aligned with the master plan goals. I kind of want to circle back to that maybe as a discussion point later on. Any questions? So we'll do that later. So moving to connectivity, the takeaway is, really water and sewer and sidewalks and bicycle transportation infrastructure. So specifically more people scale infrastructure. So again, water master plan has already been drafted and created from the sewer department, water department, and then sewer department is going to do its own master plan as well. And then we do have a sidewalk master plan, the DPW has. So continue engaging with that, and then updating it when the time comes.
Can we get some corrections made on that graph, Mark? Make Sean looks at it. So
Okay.
like down Cushing Road,
Yeah.
it's showing sewer only. That's actually water only. And then
Yeah.
on the mobile home park, which would be next to Heron Point, it would be odd that wasn't water and sewer.
It is. Yeah, they both have. Yeah, I think.
Well, it's that shaded sewer only color. So maybe,
Yeah.
I think, well, those are incorrect.
Yeah.
And then out on, where would that be? 152? It has that whole water line?
Yeah, water goes all the way up there.
Well, but where's the connectivity to it? It's like its own little island, the one down at the lower left hand.
Oh, down here?
Where is that water only?
That might be a private
Shanda.
system. Shanda?
And
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but this should be municipal, shouldn't it?
Yeah,
Not
I think it's
private.
showing. Yeah, so that could be parsed out more, and specified if it's private or municipal, correct?
I think that this, oh, and you're doing the same on Dame Road for,
Yeah, for Wade,
James.
yeah. Yeah, so
I think this is a capital, if this is a master plan, that I think this should be a representative of our municipal water and sewer.
we should show it. I mean, I agree with you in principle, but also we should show where the private infrastructure is too, because it does connect.
Well, it doesn't connect to anything Newmarket owns.
Oh, some do. Some are privately owned, but connects to Newmarket system.
Well,
So the
Shander wouldn't be one. The Wade Farm would not be one.
Is Brialia, is that
Well, Brialia
Private?
is town water and sewer.
right?
Water and sewer, yes.
Yeah.
It's private, right?
No, it's not.
No.
private.
No, you
You have a
Town
pump
owns it?
station for your sewer, but
It's town.
I think the idea of, from the master plan is, particularly for this type of graphic depiction, would be where's the public infrastructure, and so where do we want to direct development that could be expanding off the public infrastructure? It just seems to be misleading.
I mean, the lead-in sentence before that picture talks about, it should be noted that several neighborhoods in town are served by private water systems, including Shander Road and Moody Point, so maybe
Yeah,
just
but Moody
doing
Point's
it-
not, we're on town water. I just think that this should be representative of town water and sewer
Yeah, I
for
think-
planning purposes.
Yeah, that's definitely what we can control, the town can control, but there may be things to leverage if it abuts private, that there might be opportunities to, I don't know if collaboration is the right word, with the grand scheme of things, but leverage some of that. I don't have an issue with both of them, but I do think it should probably be colored differently if you're gonna annotate what's private on there.
that'd be good. Yeah, yeah.
It's just-
Definitely work on that one a little more and update that and make it more clear. So thank you.
On a more related comment, I don't know if there was anything proposed under the water master plan as an area of extension. Do you want to show that?
Yeah. So
Well, I think
my
that it is showing on, is this Lang's Lane? Yes. Does the water line come down Lang's Lane? It shows that it goes up to the town wells.
I think it does because
Okay.
the contamination issue out there.
And then that little, there's some mobile homes off of Lang's, right?
Yes.
There was 152.
the sewer. Yeah.
And then water comes past Brialia down to Ash Swamp Road?
It's Durrell.
That's Durrell? Oh, we've got 152. Oh, that's
can't be Durrell.
not Durrell.
Ash Swamp is the full corner of the,
Right, up here, up in the upper left. The upper left blue.
Packers Falls. So I think Brialia is right
That-
here,
yeah.
and then
Yeah, Brialia,
going.
Durrell.
Durrell is over here.
That one, where the blue line is past Brialia.
That's Durrell. Keep going left of that, then you go out to Ash Swamp.
No, that blue that
Yeah,
you
what
have
about
your
this
finger
one?
on.
That's part of Grant.
That's showing Grant Road past Brialia.
Yes.
Up to the old Hershey Lane.
Yes, sorry.
But I don't think the water goes to Hershey Lane, does it? The water line?
I don't think so, no.
No.
Goes up to that hill, right where Hershey Lane is, I think.
Oh, it does.
Goes to the class 6.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
the Grant Road section
Right.
of Hershey is, I don't think that's class 6. Isn't it? You have to go
No.
past the houses and then it's class 6? On that end of Hershey, where it turns to dirt.
I think it might be class 6 there.
The whole way to Grant Road?
That Grant side,
Yeah.
Grant Road side.
Well, there's
It's all paved.
maybe a
and-
mix.
Yeah,
There's
I think that is.
there's a
Because
few
it's heavily-
houses.
Yeah.
There's like 3 houses going on there.
It's like 3 to
Um,
4.
But the question is, I guess to
That way,
circle
wow.
it, I'm not sure that the water line goes to that end of Hershey. That would be something to verify. Municipal water. Definitely goes to Brialia.
Yeah, I think we'll verify this map and update it.
So Bart, if
Yeah.
you're done with that, I just want to go back to the sidewalks and bicycle stuff real quick.
Yep.
So on the sidewalks, just minor editorial, but the last sentence talks about neighborhoods containing a high volume of both pedestrian and traffic. It's probably supposed to be vehicular traffic, I'm assuming. So it's
Yeah.
just traffic.
What page are you on? Sorry.
6, very bottom, right
Thank you.
before, it's like the last line there in that paragraph, pedestrian and vehicular, vehicular being missing. But I guess the bigger with that, so you have this kind of expansion plan. Is this you're kind of leaving as what really we're working to? We're not trying to like come up with new things. Because I'm guessing there's a lot still there that they haven't even gotten through.
Yeah, there's still stuff that haven't gone through the current plan. So the idea is to update it once we run out of sidewalks to plant. So so that's part of the goal is to have an updated sidewalk plan.
Yeah. Does that have? Because this talks about connectivity between like where sidewalks don't exist and expanding
Workshop.
those, or
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Zach.
Sorry, Zach, say that again.
does that talk about like crosswalks and other things? Because that's been a topic before. If it's not just like is there sidewalks, but part of the connectivity is
Yes.
ease of access. Because a lot of those major roads, 108, 152.
Yeah. There is some mention of that, but I think when we do an updated one, it'll be more detailed than what we got. I think it was like 2017.
Okay.
So
Because I feel like that's kind of, especially in the main core area,
Yeah.
I think that's a key component of connectivity is not just the sidewalk, but the ability to get through parts of town by crossing those major intersections. And
Yeah.
get safe to do so.
not just sidewalks, but also alternative paths as well.
Yep.
So
So
Something
yeah, that was
like-
just one thought with that. And then for the bicycle safety one, so on the map between, so pretty much right here outside of Town Hall, it ranks level 2 low stress, but up 152 it's medium stress, and then along the 108 corridor it's medium stress. And I feel like this is a very busy intersection with the traffic coming up off 108 turning onto 152, and I wonder why that all of a sudden downgrades to a lower stress in this little section, but everything around it is higher, that yellow color. I know this is based on the survey data, but that just seems incongruent to me.
So you're talking the Exeter Road portion?
So like right, and basically the right here in front of Town Hall, this little
Yeah,
stretch
Jerry
of road,
Ave and,
as it connects to 108, connects to 152, it's all kind of that lighter green color, even though I feel like this is a
all
very
of
busy.
this.
Well, that's much the
Yeah.
side roads, but you can kind of see like this
Yeah,
main-
right.
Beach Street, you cross the railroad.
Yeah, well, it's all yellow around it, but
That's
somehow
yellow.
it becomes less stress as you exit, but then go right into it, and it just seems incongruent. So
Because you would theoretically think all the major, well, maybe it's just the overlay of all these little side streets, so we're not seeing it.
it could be. I know I've biked down that before, going into downtown, and I don't feel like this is a
No, see the yellow under it?
low stress.
Yeah.
How
part
about
of the
red?
road.
How about red all the way to the town line?
Yeah.
Yeah, I am surprised by some of that. If it's based on survey data, I mean, it's based on what people say. I just seems kind of weird to me, but I don't want to overwrite what the survey said.
But we should also.
But to your, I think Zach has a great point. The stress for a bicycle route doesn't start at our town line in Newfields and then stop at basically what is showing Bennett Way? Yeah.
Yeah, I do wonder if that's like, I would have to look at how they surveyed people. It might be intersection based, and so you might see where it just expands a little bit past certain intersections they feel is more
Yeah.
stressful. I'm not
Under
sure.
this map too, I'm gonna put the data source.
Not too
as
many
well.
people bike through downtown in the road either. It's pretty rare to see someone in this.
I mean, I usually cut either up
Right.
the hill
Going
here. Or,
around.
yeah, I don't usually go right down. It's not fun.
Yeah, I've done it once or twice.
But then are they coming back onto 108?
Yeah.
Not so much?
I mean, I like that it's highlighted, and I think it's important that it
Yeah.
gets worked on. So it might not be ultimately a huge deal. Just something
But
to
something
annotate.
to kind of refine too.
Mm.
You know, where are those, you know, key areas of stress?
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like that, you know.
It may be, I don't know how much control you have over that. It may be worth just reducing the lowest stress, those little side streets, because I think most people aren't going to question the dark green color, and just leaving focused on some of those major arteries, the ones, it might make those pop and focus more on those. Other than
That's a
kinda
good
get
idea.
Busy.
Yeah.
And a lot of
Just
these are
get rid of the
dead
green
ends,
altogether.
so it's not like you're biking to somewhere.
Yeah.
You're biking to Shanda Park, or you're, cutting through behind the Legion.
So like New Village, get rid of Zion Hill, get rid of
Yeah.
those streets, and then just have those.
Yeah.
Yeah, so pretty much just filtering out the BALTS one, the
One,
lowest stress
okay.
area, and I think that'll help a little bit better. I mean,
I used to ride my bike to work. I live on Ash Swamp Road, and I used to ride down Ash Swamp Road. I'll say it was so stressful I stopped.
Like going
Right.
towards
Wow, I
108.
would
And
think so too.
I rode down to Grant Road and down Grant Road, and both
Wow.
those. Grant Road wasn't a sketchy feeling, but Ash Swamp Road had some pretty.
Just
Yeah.
such a
hilly,
cut through.
Sharp curve.
Yeah.
People going 40.
yeah,
I mean, I
Flying
almost got killed
hills.
twice, and I was like, "That's not really worth it. I'll drive the 3 miles to the house."
yeah, I think
Definitely
it's
want
just
to get there.
the lack of shoulder or lane
Yes.
that you're sharing the road, and people do tend to speed through a lot of those.
Yeah.
So it doesn't leave a lot of room.
And they're eating breakfast or drinking.
Did driving.
Can, I just want to follow executive on the sidewalks.
Okay.
It would be nice to see where the focus on expansion areas are, as a color that.
Yeah, I can maybe what I'll do is show the areas that haven't been targeted yet, that are in the plan. That are
They're
targeted.
they're in the capital improvement
They're in
plan,
the sidewalk plan.
sidewalk plan. They just haven't been implemented.
They haven't been built yet. Yeah.
Okay, so it's future build out.
Yeah, I think the next one is Bennett Way up to Hersey.
Oh,
I
so
think that'd be good to
let's
highlight, yeah.
call it something.
Yeah.
Because there's quite a few roads I think.
Yeah,
that-
so
Because
I-
it's all approved, right?
Right. Exactly. So I think what we'll do, we'll have two colors. You know, all sidewalks, and then sidewalks that are planned but yet built.
That was my same comment with the water. Since this is a master plan, we're kind of looking to the future. What was proposed, what came out of the water master plan?
Yeah, so the idea for that document, I don't know in great detail, but is to kind of link it with our master plan. So, the reader will be able to see, you know, where the town's going for its water infrastructure.
Or
least from the
maybe a
deposit.
little bit of narrative for that, whatever came out of that plan is the intent of extent, if
Yeah,
there is.
I can definitely add some.
And a lot of thought, I was involved with that plan, and there was a lot of thought that went into it, and a lot of commentary, because at one point they had the whole line expanded out down Bay Road, which made no sense, because literally I think we counted maybe 5 houses, because it's all under conservation. So
Right.
the reality that water and sewer would ever be brought down Bay Road would make no sense.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, no, that's a good point.
Further down Bay, for sure. Past Cushing.
Yeah, from Lumberland, they had it
Yeah.
going out there like it was gonna all be developed.
Yeah, I'll add some narrative there, referencing that master plan. Kind of the key objectives. Right. Affordability and accessibility. Kind of the main goals here would be, you know, to continue to engage in the CIP process, to check against what's being proposed or ask for reserve funds, and compare to what's the master plan objectives, just to really make sure that we're making wise decisions with our reserve funds, and then also continue to do good budgeting, and utilize grant opportunities to lower the tax burden for these infrastructure improvements. And then moving on to resiliency.
Before you move on there,
Sure.
you have, between Birch Drive, and Stevens, sorry. Yeah, so I think you mean, is it actually Birch Drive and some other drive, or is it Smith Garrison Road, and Stevens is off of Smith Garrison? So you have two areas that are a mile and a half apart.
She's moved on to resiliency, though.
Have I?
Areas of concern.
Oh.
That's my purse.
Thoughts
Trying to find where you're at.
I'm like, where is that?
Almost
We're
there.
switching, Zach. I need
Okay.
to know.
Almost there.
She moved on.
Okay,
She'll have a
all right.
question in a moment.
And then, resiliency, continue to implement the state's hazard mitigation plan, have a strong collaborative relationships with state and federal partners and other local authorities, which we already do, but continue that, engage with our citizenry, and in disaster preparedness, and really making sure that our hazard mitigation plan and also our emergency operations plans are always up to date and visited often for familiarity.
Just a general comment on the photo, Bart.
Yeah.
I think it'd be good to have a town-owned property there. I'm pretty sure that's just an easement. We have public access to it.
Yeah, I think that's just the presentation one. I'm not sure if it's in the actual chapter. But yeah, for future presentation.
Isn't a lot of this being rolled into the?
Yeah, this would be kind of what we're working on further than code.
Is the area of concern for flooding, is it flooding just from old infrastructure, or just what can it be from waterways as well?
So when we were,
I would say that, I know when we had the bigger floods, next to Price's, it flows across and over Ash Swamp adjacent to the bridge they just fixed. The road's been closed there before.
Was that before or after the upgrade? The
Well, I don't know
new.
if the upgrade made the opening bigger.
Oh.
And they would have had to increase the size of the opening for it to affect that. I've driven through water there. Or has it flowed across the road?
you talking about the corner of Ashmont and Granite?
No, right at Price's garage. Right
Oh, okay.
It's from the
Garage.
Piscassic River.
Yep, okay.
It definitely has been closed there twice since I lived there.
You don't mind?
Once during the Mother's Day flood,
Yeah.
and the other during another large but slightly smaller event.
I think wasn't that part of that grant. They raised the road and then did something similar to Lumberland.
Did they raise it? They did. They repaved it up and raised it. I don't know. Because then it would be.
Didn't they
above
redo
Price's
that whole
entrance and-
culvert?
I don't know that they made it bigger or changed the water, the clear opening, whatever they call it when they do
Huh.
that.
You're talking about
I thought that
bridge.
was a flood mitigation project.
You're talking about the bridge right by
I
Price.
thought they just
Correct.
replaced the deck, and that's all they did is
Yeah,
fix the
they
deck.
just
That's
changed
it?
the deck. They didn't change.
None of the
width.
opening, and so that will flood again.
Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah. I mean, they might have raised the deck a little bit, but the
But
footings
not
were the
the
same,
opening.
the width was the same.
Yeah, I don't know if they,
I don't think they raised it too much.
how far they,
Yeah.
how much they raised it going up.
We got still an area of concern where it can be targeted for, funding opportunities.
Yeah, they may have. I didn't. It doesn't seem like they raised the road, but maybe.
But it's funny that it's not on the list, right?
Yeah, that's
Jeff?
why I was pointing it out because it's not. Someone's at least asked DPW about, and then they say no. It's only ever happened once ever.
Well, what would be interesting if they did, when they looked at that bridge, did they do a hydraulic analysis?
I think they did H&H.
Yeah, so, I mean, that should be kind of in our library knowledge, what
I can
was-
follow up with Lindsay on that. She was involved in that project.
Because these are really just from the people who attended the workshop. Has,
Oh, they are?
yeah,
Oh.
does DPW have a list?
Yeah, that's where I thought this list came.
Yeah, I mean,
So
it's
this
basically
is
checking
the
in
workshop.
with Rick, what, you know.
I think that would make more sense for a master plan.
Yeah, because I mean the one next to my house that they're got the grant for there, that didn't even flood during the Mother's Day flood. That stayed below the.
Hmm.
So yeah, so I didn't even live there during. I just moved there, but so I think the one by Price's has flooded over a couple of times. Maybe three.
Yeah, I'd be more inclined to say the master plan should be identifying, particularly this particular chapter, what's on the DPW list of identified flooding areas that are going to be needing funding to address or planning for addressing. Anybody else
Yeah,
have a thought on that?
I think we don't have to,
Opposed
maybe it's
to
more of
a
a
survey?
narrative, you know, we don't have to say this is the list that we need to address, is that, you know, the Department of Public Works, you know, identifies critical areas that need improvements, you know.
Well,
I mean, it's not the first time in these we've had parts that were based on workshop or public feedback, but I do agree that there needs to be some component of, at least does Department of Public Works, like, have they seen this information? Do they think that's a good list? You know, it's kind of like the other side of that coin.
Okay.
All this stuff was anecdotal though. Like I would like to. This is measurable. Like it flooded 5 times.
Yeah, I don't know if it's, I mean, engage with them, Bart, but it could just be something where we just leave that, not the area of concern bolted list, but you just reference at the workshop, people identified things, and just showing that we did some stuff, but we don't need to list it, because I know we've run into issues where we took some of that feedback and putting in the master plan almost makes it concrete, where it's really just more of a
could be one person.
areas of concern. I don't want it to sound like it's more concrete. I mean, my backyard gets a lot of water that flows through it during the heavy storms, and you know, does that mean that it's something that the town would actually take action on?
Wasn't there a Moonlight Brook study too?
Yep, there was, yeah, a report study. We do have that. I think it was done in 16, not mistaken.
Yeah, I think that sounds about right.
Yeah, and that report's referenced a lot, you know, in improvement efforts.
So is this something that the town actually is, I mean, obviously in the master plan we're talking about it, and it's a concern. Is that something that would be new, or is it just kind of an ongoing concern that they're already aware of and working towards?
Yeah, I think it's an ongoing, I think they know, especially Public Works, you know, those problem areas of, that need to be addressed.
Okay.
So I'm not, I mean, if we want to spell it out here, I'm fine with that, but.
No, to me, if they're already aware, it's like, it's just reinforcing that that's something the town should continue to pursue. And
Well, I think that's the purpose of this chapter, is that this is kind of where the planning board in our process of adopting a master plan is trying to inform the town
yeah, we
As
talk
to
about it in here. It's just kind of the whole,
where to
like,
direct.
how
Yeah,
specific.
I
can
just,
get.
when we put lists, then you gotta update the list, so I'm just wondering if there's a way to do it where it's like, you know, DPW, these are some of the top problem areas, you know, from a running list, but, you know, it's, you know, things are gonna come back up and then, you know, populate that list.
I think it's like the sidewalk thing where they already have something in place and they're already working towards it. I think that makes sense to put in here.
Yeah.
As far as like the public feedback, that's not something that maybe they've really kind of put into their process, and so that's where I would hedge to put the full list. But if they have something that's like, oh yeah, we took that and now we're implementing a plan and this is our plan and that's a little more thought out, like the sidewalk plan, I think that would make sense to call out.
Yeah, I think what I'll do is check in with them to see, you know, do they have a, you know, long-term plan for their, you know, bridge culvert work, and, you know, kind of similar to the sidewalk plan. And if so, then that can be a reference.
Well, Lindsay is on this committee.
Correct. Yeah. Yep. So she'll have that.
I would say that it's probably good. It's good information, right? I mean, for the public to notice and then tell DPW, hey, I noticed this area flooding. So it's
Mhm.
not like it's useless information, it's just that it might not be appropriate venue to list it for a 10-year. Like a
Yeah,
series.
I think you keep at the fall master plan workshop, people identified numerous areas around town where they've experienced flooding. So it's showing that there is concern there without getting into the specific list. You can always go back and look at that.
And the list could be provided to DPW, like,
Yep.
people in town have said these are the spots. Or
Yep.
it could be,
And the sentence prior to that is, that's the one driving the chart. So we just want to make sure that's consistent.
Yeah.
What page is that, Val? Sorry.
The sentence prior to, so,
Yep.
third paragraph down, on page 11, the 2024 master plan survey asked the respondents to
Mhm.
rank stormwater challenges, highest priority to deal, and then it goes down.
Yep.
See appendix, right, your question 6.
Yep.
So just making sure that chart matches up with that statement.
Great.
Yeah, because that paragraph matches more how you explain it, not how that header was labeled.
Just comment towards the affordability and accessibility. And one thing, my one exposure on the CIP this year was it was a little hard to tease out, you know, what were the special projects or what were the improvements that were not in the usual routine of things. You know, if there was something particular like a flood mitigation or a bridge or,
Yeah.
you know, it was hard to,
I think this year, just to answer your question, was the Ash Swamp Bridge. That was the special project. It's going to be 2 funding cycles for that one, I think.
yeah.
Based on the time frame, if I'm remembering correctly. So that's,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's the only one. But yes, good to know or note for next year.
And it was hard to tease out what was maintenance versus, you know, new infrastructure. Like there were broad categories, like street improvements, I think is the broad category, but does that include maintenance or does that include upgrades or is that?
Yeah, like road improvement, I think you're thinking of. That's usually the pavement.
Right.
Schedule.
Usually paved.
Yeah.
But there wasn't anything separate for new drainage or drainage upgrades or it's just sort of rolled into
Yeah.
street. So I don't know if we need to split it out a little bit more or have some additional specific maintenance categories.
Yeah. Yeah, just to
To,
allow for more specificity.
yeah, and addressing the comment of goal 2, you know, routine and regular maintenance. I mean, it's hard, I don't know if it's really spelled out what are the maintenance items.
Yeah. And that kind of brings me to my final thought. It's not necessarily in here for the presentation, you know, for the CIP. I would like that, I think would be beneficial if that is, you know, it remains the CIP, but it has a dual mandate, if you will. It's reviewing the requests as, you know, the RSA says, but also dovetailing that with a long-range planning aspect. So it meets more frequently, it reviews the master plan more often, and it goes towards our long-term goals and how we get in there. And then, you know, by the time budget season comes, then it, you know, does its CIP obligations. But I think it can be a lot more than what it is right now, and it'd be very beneficial to the town to have those long-range conversations, because we don't really have those from a public forum. So I like to see that. If it's not through the CIP committee, then it's maybe a planning board subcommittee. You know, having those conversations and discussions. So
Yeah, I feel like the subcommittees do some of that heavy lifting where they identify opportunities and,
Yeah.
because I know like the energy committee, we've talked about some of that aspect with the solar and other infrastructure, energy adjacent stuff, but Yeah, usually it's just, we've done some legwork, here's the kind of recommendation.
There's no like concerted, effort or intent, to focus on our long-term objectives.
Yeah, and I think at least in that committee, it's hard for us to really understand the budgeting cycle component that goes
Yeah.
along with that. I think it's more like ideas is a great thing, and we've done some legwork on the technical side, but I think a CIP would really help the town being able to help make that a little bit more actionable from a budgetary perspective.
Yeah.
What are you
So
thinking of the chemistry of the committee?
yeah, well, let's think. It'll probably be as is, as written. We'll see what the charter commission does. We'll just say it stays as is. Then I think we could amend that unless the charter says what the composition is. But we'd have to keep most likely the same composition if it's through the CIP. But if it's a subcommittee from the planning board, then you can make it wherever you want. So
I mean, hopefully the department, the staff is looking at these individual master plans, the water, the sewer, the
Yeah.
sidewalk, and looking at the CIP and saying, well, we're gonna need this in the next, 5 years, 10 years.
we definitely are, from my observations, especially water and sewer, and then more so now from DPW and stormwater. I think we're all shifting towards that, and not to say we weren't doing it before, but it's become more of an emphasis. I think more so, not just because I think the first entity really to do was water and sewer, and then after that, we're starting to see everyone come together and kind of think more long term. But I think it's really important to have a venue for to engage in those conversations, not just department heads or staff talking about that. I think it needs to be discussed with elected or appointed officials.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Yeah.
Maybe we try to schedule that in.
That's what, yeah, again, maybe just for another time, maybe next meeting we can discuss, do you want a subcommittee or do you want maybe CIP to take over that role? So,
Well, it is a planning role,
yeah.
so it makes sense what you're recommending.
Yeah.
And the department heads are on the CIP, correct?
Yes, so they usually do the requests, yeah. Yeah.
And then we have 2 members on planning board now, on CIP? And any other public members appointed?
We have no at-larges right now, so that's the other thing too. It'd be nice to, we'd make this the
None of-
CIP a little different than,
None of the budget committee are members of the CIP?
we have budget committee members.
Okay.
Yep, yeah. So we have school board, budget committee, plan board, town council.
And department heads are just giving the input.
Correct. And then the folks that we're really missing is the at-larges.
But it is hard to get up to speed in a couple of
Yeah.
weeks
Yep.
ahead of the meeting. I don't know if you would agree, Jane, but
Yeah, I agree with you, yeah. So I think it definitely can be a better process and more fruitful. So I've just been thinking about that for a little bit. It's like, how can we really think more long-term and, have that conversation? I hope you all agree, so we can do something like that. So yes, so again, our next steps, we'll make these edits, continue to revise, we'll update the maps, and then I would say by January, February, we'll start having updated drafts for you. Target date of a public hearing in March. So hopefully January we'll get all of these all to you, and then you have a couple months. So we'll either maybe March or April we'll have a public hearing for adoption.
Of the entire master plan?
Yeah.
As one public hearing?
Yeah.
And you're running this through so that there's consistency through all the plans?
Yeah. Exactly.
okay, we have one more chapter, the economic development.
We already did economic development. We got land use. So we're making edits to that because we already visited that. We already reviewed that chapter. So we got recreation, existing future land use. I think those are the 2 left that.
It will be on December, correct?
Yes. One of them will be. So and then January. So yeah, maybe we should target April for a public hearing. Just so there's a little more time for last minute edits and whatnot. So
I think that was the original plan, Bart.
Yeah, it was March, April. I was shooting for March, but I think April would be more prudent.
Oh, we were planning to start economic development at this meeting and then get through that by the end of the year. All right, so December would be economic development.
I thought we did, but yeah, I feel like we already did that.
Was that the first one we did?
Yeah.
Can't remember.
Well, I'm just reading last month's meeting minutes.
I know,
Yeah,
I saw that too, and now I can't remember.
I'm
And
pretty
that
sure we
came from
did it.
Harry.
Yeah. So
I'm
it's-
pretty sure we did, but
Facilities
we can, if you want to
Rec and
revisit it, we
Economic
can.
Development.
Yeah. So, yes, we can.
But
if
I
it
think
was
we
the-
just
I would have
follow
to
up on
look
which
at my
ones we
notes.
haven't reviewed, Bart.
Oh, yeah, so it's,
Yeah.
it's future land use and recreation.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Carrie did,
Yeah.
I think we can update that in this
Yep.
meeting minutes.
Yep. Okay.
Any other questions for Bart? Okay, any other questions on master planning process in general? So the plan is definitely one more workshop in December and possibly one in January,
Yeah, probably, yes.
meaning a 6 o'clock meeting.
Yeah, my bad on that, I apologize. I thought they were 6:30, haven't they all been at 6:30?
No,
No, they've been an
all
hour?
6.
I thought they were a half an hour.
Yeah, not,
6 the whole year.
I came up when it was
This is
over.
gonna be a 2026 update.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah, well,
I just thinking, what was the last time we updated?
every
Depends on the
chapter's
chapter.
different. This one, 2001?
Yeah, all right.
Also, you appointed him.
well,
for
like
Jeff.
the water, like the
I
water
am
chapter,
gonna,
2020.
I made a note. Thank you very much.
We're merging those.
Before we have 2 Jeffs vote.
Conservation of water, rainwater.
You do it for Michael.
Put him for Michael.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Do we need to adjourn the workshop?
Yeah, we do need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second by Bill. Jane, you're not quick tonight. No. Okay.
Don't worry,
any-
we'll give it to you
All
for
right.
the
All
full
those in
meeting.
favor of adjourning? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. All right, we've got 5 minutes before we start the planning board meeting. wants to lead the pledge? We're on. Welcome to the November 18th Planning Board meeting. I will call the meeting to order at 7:02. And if everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Next, see if he's on. Okay, I'll just continue. Next item on the agenda is public comments. Any items that are not on the agenda? I see no one here from the public, so I will close public comments. Review and approval of the minutes.
Appoint him before the
Oh,
minutes.
thank you. I have it right here.
I don't know if there's anybody missing.
Yes, Bill, I am appointing you for Michael. Right, and we're checking to see if Eric is joining us by Zoom. Okay. Thank you. Okay, continuing on. So, Bill, you'll be voting on anything this evening. Review and approval of the minutes, October 14th. Are there any changes, corrections?
I was gonna make a comment, I don't know if it's even more, the bottom of page 3, my question to the, Mark West, asking whether other wetlands not currently mapped would be best to go through the prime wetland diagram. I don't know if it captured it, my question was, is there another way to identify critical wetlands for protection aside from prime wetlands? I don't know.
What line are you on? What the section?
144, 145.
Okay.
So, if
Oh, that was the discussion of why this project was only an update to the current prime wetlands. Right?
Yeah, and if we were gonna go forward or wanted to identify other critical wetlands, is there another process aside from prime wetlands to identify critical wetlands for protection? Just so to save us from not having to hire Mark West to do prime wetlands, but apparently there isn't. It's really
the
just.
only other thing I can think of is vernal pools.
Yeah. I don't know.
But it's the question is the process of like going on identifying all the vernal pools on private property.
Yeah. So if you wanted to amend it,
Is
ask
there
if there's another way to identify critical wetlands for protection.
I have one minor change. On line 26, on the first page, you just need to add an F to the end of my name.
Mm.
Then you drop it.
There was a typo too that I caught.
272. This is a typo. Should be decision, not division.
Line 148. There's a G next to IT. It was also mentioned. Minor thing.
Any other changes for Bridget?
Yes, and like so many things, like at redlined that like aren't technically in the dictionary, so then they're like super hard to like spell check sometimes.
No problem. That's why you got eyes up here. Okay, I will take a motion. There's no further changes. Is that Jeff?
Do I have to actually do it formally say it? I'd like to make a motion to approve the planning board minutes as amended for the Tuesday, October 14th meeting.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Any further discussion? Okay. Hearing none, all those in favor? All right, thank you. Okay, moving into regular business. Pursuant to RSA 675, Section 7, the planning board shall hold a public hearing on the proposed amendments drafted by the planning board to amend sections of the Appendix A subdivision and Appendix B site plans of the Municipal Code of the Town of Newmarket, New Hampshire, that seek to establish a standing technical review committee, amend the thresholds of applicability, remove redundancies, and update outdated references, amend the fee schedules, and to streamline post-approval administrative tasks, or to take any other action relative thereto. Does anyone object to starting with the site plan? Okay. And just, so,
Overview again.
yeah, that would be great.
Yes, as the notice specifies, our primary objective to these amendments is to establish that technical review committee and then modify applicability standards. So what doesn't require site plan, what minor, what requires a minor and a major site plan. And then in addition to that, updating references, removing redundancies, and then also touching up a few standards. And then also post approval, updating that process, making it better for everyone and for the town and applicant. And also making sure there are elements of a plan on a plan. That's more specifying, type of deeds. So we talked about plottable deeds last time, making sure the type of wetlands are delineated, are on the plan, and also how much, or at least the constitution on a lot. And also we got some driveway standards, just touching that up. We are making sure that in the village corridor district, there's an architectural aesthetic standards are followed through that section. And I think that is it. Yes.
Okay, do we just want to go through this? First by each page and make edits as needed? Have you picked up on anything? So I'm on site plan, section 101. That part is red line to change, everyone's good with that? Moving on to page 2. Section 102.
And there's a 103.
103 definitions. Nice job of getting that all revised. We just got everyone good with changes to definitions. Okay. 104 communications with the town and the applicant. That was the one where you have secretary that needs to be changed. 104B under 1.
Oh, handbook secretary.
So that you want to change that under B1. So that will be director of planning and community development. And I think there was one other place on there, wasn't there? We just run a check on that one.
Control F.
Okay.
105.
Okay, 105, that's where we had discussion, and a lot of changes there. We got everything updated from our discussion. Did anyone catch anything
I
different?
was struggling a little bit with
Yeah,
the area thresholds
those we had changed.
for minor not applicable. So it's good. I guess it's when we get into minor review. Change of use from one non-resident to another between 5 and 10,000 square feet. So the 10,000 square feet was part of the discussion. We were, like existing facilities that were relatively small. We were okay with a change of use for smaller facilities. I guess it's the 5,000 to 10,000 kind of. We just say less than 10,000 square feet or 10,000 square feet or less.
Well, that, I think,
This triggers
yeah,
what's exempt.
minor. This will be a minor review.
A minor review.
Yeah, so if there's no increase in traffic, there's no expansion, but you are changing a use,
Or non-residential.
non-resident use, you're coming in for a minor review.
But under 5 up above, Bill, it's exempt. It's only exempt is provided it meets the other requirements for exemption.
Below 5, yeah.
So if it's more than 10,000 square feet, it goes into major?
Correct. And then we have the catch-all too, at the end, in major, where it's a situation which doesn't meet any of this criteria, but it's a situation that would warrant a site plan, it goes to major. That's number 9 on B. So I was kind of, not to belabor the point, but I was looking at number 11 in non-applicability. We have an expansion by no more than 2,500 square feet, and you're adding up 3 units, provided it doesn't create subdivision. And I was like,
Wait, you are for 9, 11?
it'd be,
Oh, you're still under exemptions.
yeah, exemptions.
Okay,
yeah.
sorry.
Yeah. Anyways, my point being is we got that catch-all as well. So I was thinking from a stormwater standpoint as well, like if it. That's a lot of these thresholds come from, is linking the stormwater
Right.
to here, so there's some consistency.
Yeah, and I guess I was getting a little tripped up on it, yeah. Because if we had 5,000 square feet of impervious area, it's subject to stormwater.
Correct, which is subject to site plan within the stormwater regs.
Major site plan or minor?
Don't remember to specify. Probably major.
But your concern, Bill, is under B2, expansion of a non-residential floor space between. So it could be the same use, but they're expanding the footprint up 10, between 5,000 and 10,000.
And they could be adding 5,000 square feet of impervious area,
Which
Right.
requires stormwater review.
which still would apply under a minor review.
Yeah, but they still have to stormwater. I mean, the real difference between major and minor is not as much. I mean, there's there's more potentially more studies involved, but again, I think in this situation you're catching the stormwater through the stormwater regs, and then you go into minor site plan as well. So, and then you as a board could always ask for more studies during that process if you're uncomfortable with, or if you need more information.
I guess that's where, I wasn't sure if they were adding the 5,000 square feet, still in the minor review. Was there some relief in the stormwater that they still have to meet the stormwater?
Still gotta meet the stormwater regs.
So as an example, if the building is 5,000 square feet and the applicant is filing for a building permit through the town to expand it by 4,999 square feet. It is exempt, but it may not be fully exempt from stormwater. It's exempt from site plan. They're not changing the use, they're just basically doubling the size of the building except for 1 foot.
You still have to go.
It still may come through for, not for site plan, but they have to
Meet the
meet your
stormwater.
stormwater.
Yeah. So they would provide
Okay, is
that.
the way to say it, not all stormwater plans have to have planning board review when they go to file for a building permit?
Okay.
Not all applications for a building permit have to come to planning board, we know that for a fact. But some applications have to meet stormwater regulations, but they don't come before planning board to meet those regulations. It's not necessarily that a planning board is approving a site plan, but the building department may be under the stormwater regs. Is that a fair statement?
Fair statement.
Okay.
And
Guess I wasn't
the
thinking of that.
thresholds, yeah, I was thinking of what, and unintended consequences, has Dave looked at these, code enforcement officer?
Yes.
Thinking, but, okay, is code enforcement reviewing these and saying, oh, someone can come double the size of their building, but they don't come to planning board. But he has eyes on it, and there are other regulations that might be exempt from site plan regs, but not from building regs.
But he does that, exactly, yeah. So, again, we have that 5-year period threshold as well. So, it's, again, if they do any other improvements, you go on the planning board for review. So, again, we're just trying to find that balance.
But these are consistent with stormwater regs.
Correct.
The thresholds.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's just, yeah, it's a lot to wade through to figure it out.
Because that's what you want to do is look at, what could happen. And it's like, is that what we really meant? Do we mean this particular project that we drive by that didn't have to come to planning board? Because they didn't have to because our regs didn't require them to? I think that becomes the question.
But all of this sort of range in square footage sort of started with, we didn't want to be too onerous on small buildings.
I don't think we're not. We are.
No, I know. But just sort of adding in that little threshold kind of adds a lot of confusion about 5,000, 10,000, more than 10,000. I don't know.
Because we don't have anything relative to lot coverage. So we could have
Only in the aquifer. Yeah.
So we could have, under our regs, a lot 100% built out other than setbacks. That does not have to come before site plan review unless the proposed change is
Involves water
triggered
buffers.
here. Because we don't have lot coverage.
Would you say about wetland buffers?
I thought you were headed unless it affects buffers? Is that what
I
you-
wasn't heading there, I was just
Oh.
saying, literally, we've got a lot of small towns.
Well, you
a
said
lot of
setbacks.
Setbacks are built, I'm thinking more
Sideline.
in-town tiny lots, right?
Yeah.
That, there aren't wetlands on them,
They
but
basically
you could,
fill up the whole
you
lot.
fill up the whole lot. And you can put pavement in the setback, so you could certainly fill up the entire lot, just not with the building. But it could become completely impervious and not subject to any stormwater regs. I think there's that potential definitely exists.
All right.
Are we willing to let it exist, right? As opposed to, what's your thoughts on that part?
Well, what we're trying to regulate is the stormwater, so, do we change the stormwater thresholds now?
Does stormwater have lot coverage? I don't recall.
No, it does not. The only, place lot coverage exists is in the ADU ordinance and then the aquifer protection overlay.
I remember talking about it at some point.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It was ADUs.
ADUs.
And under the new state law, can we continue with lot coverage on an ADU?
No, because probably single families aren't regulated that way, so,
Right,
yeah,
yeah, so we
That
may have a
might not.
non-compliant ADU right now.
that's,
I know
just
on your agenda.
unenforceable. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So
I
do you
mean,
think it-
I get the intent, fine, it just took a while for me to sort of figure out where things were falling. A lot of language for.
Is it easier for I think everybody would agree that if you have 100% lot coverage of impervious, that's probably not what we would like to see. And with no controls and the burden that could potentially put on abutting properties. Is the best way to deal with that on site plan or through the stormwater, what's exempt or not exempt, and then that's an enforcement issue when Dave gets the building permit?
Probably if you want to do lot coverages, the best place to put it is probably the zoning ordinance.
Oh, yeah,
And
that's a
there
good
would have
point.
to be exemptions for, I mean, there are lots that are probably,
So-
there are 100%.
So the way,
Yeah, there are now.
so basically you do a table. You add a column, and you kind of go through the exercise, how much, lot coverage you would want in different areas of town, different circumstances.
Based on what rationale? Just
Well, when they go to get a variance, one of the issues is public interest
Or we can say it's a special use permit, planning board can modify it.
in the
So-
ordinance.
In the ordinance, yep. So basically it's two ways you want it. If you want the zoning board to make that decision, you kind of give them a special exception or a variance. Or if you want the planning board to review any requests to alter that lot coverage, that'd be a special use permit.
And it makes sense to come to the planning board because you're trying to plan. And I don't want to speak for the zoning board, but I think they might have buy into that.
Could we look to other towns for percent coverages that have already done studies and kind of see what their
We
stuff
could
is based
definitely-
on?
I don't know.
See,
Yeah, I think most of the towns that I've been working in have percentage.
yeah, it's percent, yeah.
It's a percentage.
Percentages.
But isn't it usually to preserve groundwater infiltration, that lot coverage? Isn't that
Also
usually-
runoff too, to decrease runoff.
Right?
Yeah, and infiltration, same thing.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah, you have to implement some drainage plan.
So yeah, to your point, it's like, okay, we reduce the thresholds in the stormwater regs, or we do, or we do a zoning ordinance proposal. I mean, what's the easiest way to get it done is through planning boards, will be through stormwater regs or site plan reg.
Yeah, but I think doing the ordinance is
It's cleaner.
cleaner, easier for an applicant, easier for the building office. Because someone's coming with a plan, right, and they're showing, I want to expand, want to double, I basically want to build out the lot. And Dave's gonna look at this and says, yeah, you don't have to go through planning board. But if they're exceeding a lot coverage because of the zoning ordinance, then maybe they do come to planning board through a special use permit.
I think that'd be more appropriate.
Right. And then we're not dealing with hardship, right?
Yeah,
We're really
exactly.
dealing with a proper build out of the lot.
Yeah, you'd have some criteria through the special use permit to waive the requests.
Wouldn't it
Merits.
vary a bit across town? I think
For sure.
downtown would
Yeah, you
Pretty
can,
much.
so that's the other thing, we don't want to create more nonconformities.
Yeah, I
So
would just say
downtown
lot
would probably be
specific.
100%.
100%. And then, as you go outside town, you,
100% with a stormwater management plan that under the current stormwater regs may not hit the threshold.
Would it be tied somewhat to an increase or decrease in coverage? Like if it's already 100% and it's not conforming to the current stormwater, and they want to redevelop the lot and keep it at 100%, do you force them to then,
No,
right, so you have to be able to
I think the word expansion
increase.
expansion of the,
horizontal expansion.
yeah, expansion of
The
impervious surfaces.
percentage coverage.
It is cleaner to go
Which
that
right
way.
now is 5,000 square feet triggers
Stormwater.
so much.
I feel like that's a lot for downtown area. A lot of small lots.
Yeah, for
They're
sure.
fully paved already.
Yep.
Already, mostly roof.
But I think it also opens the opportunity for the redevelopment that, as we get to the point if people are gonna come in, you know, completely redevelop a lot, it gives the ability to have them implement stormwater management systems.
You give them a bonus for it.
I like that.
Give them an extra unit if they decrease their from 100 to 80%. Stormwater management system.
Or they're just implementing stormwater management where maybe they don't have to because there's no regulation that requires someone to do that when you have a tiny little lot. And then the burden's on the town to collect it if it's runoff or the abutters are, you know, are affected.
So I got a question. If that's the direction the board wants to go in, is to craft a lot coverage or ordinance. Is the board comfortable moving forward with this, with the idea that we're coming down the pipe? Is
I think so.
okay.
I mean, what's straw poll? Everyone's good, we move forward. I mean,
Sounds
we're
okay so
always
far.
gonna have
Yeah.
these, well, the what ifs, or what about these, you know, things that we didn't think of here.
Okay, great.
And everybody's good with going the ordinance route?
Scott, you good?
Yeah.
Good.
Are we moving on from these two? I have one other question on these pages. Under minor review, it talks about expansion of non-residential floor space, and under major review, it talks about expansion of non-residential gross floor area. And I don't know.
Consistency. There is a gross floor area definition in the zoning.
So the
I
sheet.
think it should just be consistent, so it should be gross floor area under minor. So that's a good catch.
Doesn't it already say that?
He's saying this.
Area.
On this one.
I'm saying it's different on the two.
Right, it should be the same.
It should be the
Yeah,
same.
under B2, it says
Square
floor
footage.
space. And
Oh, B. I was looking at B1. Sorry.
Yeah, C1.
Yeah.
There might be a couple of spots for that.
B1 says gross floor area, but B2 says non-residential floor space.
Yeah, so we'll just make it consistent.
Anything else on page 4? Page 5? Still under minor review?
Oh, the one addition it is the excluding agricultural activities.
Where are you there, Bart?
Number 6, site improvement alterations excluding agricultural activities to determine between 5,000 and 10,000 square feet without new development. So the idea is, you know, you're farming. You know.
So should that be moved for the exemptions?
Well, it's still
Not applicable?
Yeah. So the idea here, so we could do that, but it was just for this specific standard where there's no real development, but you're grading, we'll say.
Yeah.
So I guess my question is,
Or you're clear cutting.
are any agricultural activities exempt? Like, do you have that same language in major?
Yes, number 8, C8.
C8. So should we move the agricultural activities that's exempt from either minor or major?
Yeah, just eliminate duplicating the phrasing. Just point blank up front.
You have to define agricultural activity.
I was about to
We got
say,
some RSAs to it. Yeah.
Does that include buildings? Like if I was like a cow barn?
Well,
and
it talks about site improvement alterations. Site
This is more
improvements.
alterations. So if you're not the
Yeah.
be a
I guess you're just have
barn
to say something
too.
like site improvement alterations for agricultural activities or something, something like that. So you'd have to keep the front part of that.
So basically what I'll do is follow the RSA, what's exempt under RSA, and I'll reference it, and non-applicability. And that'll be so everything else would require.
So like a big building.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
Okay?
So, sorry, I'm still a little hung up with the 10,000 square feet because
Okay.
according to the stormwater regs, if they're adding 5,000 square feet of impervious area,
Mhm.
doesn't that kick in all of the stormwater regs, like they have to do drainage analysis, they have to do the water quality treatment,
Yep.
all of those things, which seems pretty substantial. I mean, they're gonna have to put in water quality treatment, stormwater treatment, it's gonna change the site, it's gonna add additional changes to
Right.
the site.
But, sorry, go ahead.
I'm just, so all of that can be done in a minor review? It seems like, it's like one of the biggest aspects of the whole site plan review.
So yeah, so maybe it's a project that triggers that threshold, but it's really a big building. Say it's a farm building. Okay, let's just say this hypothetical, it's not exempt, okay? But you got a big barn there that's, 5,000 square feet.
Mm-hmm.
Does it need all the other site elements of a major besides the stormwater aspects?
True.
So I think it's just gonna be context, and we got, and then if during the process the plan board has reservations, they can always ask for more information, even under the minor review process.
All right, I mean, that's fine. It just seems like that thing we get hung up with, that's when we bring in our, town engineer and, an outside town engineer to sort of review all those things.
And I'll say this, I have the discretion to send to, say for technical review committee, even if it's a minor, I think it's, this is a pretty big minor, even though it qualifies, I can send it to technical
Right,
review
you
committee.
have-
And then you have that whole review process, you get everyone in the room and talk about these things.
What you might do that in the event of, I'm gonna throw out properties so that we can kind of visualize. If somebody comes in, they wanna do a little addition off the old Rite Aid. Okay, so, say if it's a 5,000 square foot addition, so 50 by 100. Where does it come? Minor under here, potentially.
Mhm.
But if you're doing the same thing off of a building that's 5,000 square feet, using that example again, with car wash.
Again,
Putting those things in perspective.
adding more traffic, so what's the use of this 5,000 square foot? A barn is going to be different than Rite Aid building expansion, where there's probably going to be more customer access. That's more vehicular traffic, so that would bring it up the threshold.
But same use, and you're just expanding retail space, or you're just, adding on a bay to the
Yeah.
car wash. What's gonna really trigger that?
All right.
They go right through to major? It may be kind of burdensome.
All right, well, you talk me through it.
Okay.
That's what we're here for.
Vote on it before he changes his mind.
I appreciate your reservations.
Oh, okay, moving on to major. I think everyone's good on that, so that is C. Page 6. I'm gonna keep going, page 7. Okay, coming down to section 2, page 8.
So I think I got, based on our last conversation, I got the composition right.
Okay.
I agree.
Everyone's good with how the TRC is?
I'm gonna look at Jeff on this one.
You got a chance to look at that, Jeff?
It looks like what we discussed.
Yeah, it does.
Again, just my comment on 3 is that anytime you're asking for something from an applicant, they should
Yeah,
include the
PDF.
electronics.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay,
So-
anything?
I have a comment on B applicability, the
B,
Yeah.
which one? B, A,
applicability.
okay.
So 1 and 2, it seems like there's a lot of additional language wording in there that, like, could we eliminate the second sentence? Just stick with first sentence. All major site plan applicants undergo a TRC prior to filing for application system. unless the applicant requests or the Director of Community Development requests due to the complexity of the project. Could we just combine all that instead of talking about the exemptions?
I liked it because under the RSA and other regs, the applicant always has a right to come before the board for a preliminary conceptual or a design review. And certainly we shouldn't have a requirement that they're going to TRC or there's even a question. I mean, I would be a proponent of leaving the language as Bart has recommended.
Yeah, they serve two different purposes, like preliminary consultation and design review. It's more like broad concepts. You know, you're having that discussion with the board.
Yeah, no, I agree with the intent here. It
just
just
wanna
seems
clean it up.
redundant that we're specifically saying all major site plan require TRC review. And then,
But these are all relative to a major site plan. So if someone comes in with a major site plan and they're just looking for a preliminary consultation to the board, and it's gonna be major, they don't have to go to TRC first. Or if they wanna come before the board with a design review, that gets posted to abutters, but they don't have to go to TRC first.
okay,
Come in before the board.
and then the minor site plan, I mean,
I think it's needed so that they don't put the TRC first before all of those. I think it's preserving that those are that kind of earlier on in the process. Because otherwise you might take this as like, I basically need to have everything finalized before the TRC, which is kind of defeating some of the purpose of that getting worked out in the TRC.
Yeah. And their rights to come to the board.
I think to your point, you think it'd just be cleaned up and condensed? If I understand.
yeah. I mean, I thought it was pretty clear that all major site plan applications require the TRC, and then the other stuff was just added.
The application does.
Right.
Right, that's how I read it. But with Bart's language added here, if I'm an applicant and I just want a consultation, or I just do want to do the design review first, or I already have a major site plan and I want to make a minor amendment to it, I just don't have to go to TRC first.
I guess what might compromise this part is if you just make a 1A and just move that A as under like these things don't like constitute, or somehow just move that down there so it's not part of the applicability of the.
Yeah, so it'd be,
B1A.
yeah.
It would just be that
B1A.
kind of sentence clarifying that like those things are not. Yep. However you want to phrase that, I mean, you could literally just keep it the same thing, but would that kind of visually separate the two purposes of that? Would that make sense, Bill?
Yeah.
That help?
You just break it up.
Yeah.
That way.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
It's kind of like almost like an exemption to like that process. It's not an exemption, but it's clarifying where they fit in that process.
So as we start, let me just ask a question of the board. Is there any intent by any of the members to want, or you, Bart, to want to approve this tonight? As opposed to this goes back to Bart for further review and then comes to a second hearing reviewed? Because we only need one public hearing, correct?
Correct.
So if we're moving towards, potentially adopting this tonight, I think we need to direct Bart to specific changes. Or do we want Bart to go back, massage this more after tonight's discussion, and come back when we have a second hearing?
I feel like it was already in kind of in a good spot personally, so I would like to move it along tonight. Whatever that.
Could you try again?
No. Could you try again? That would have wanted
Okay, I'll
airplane
try
mode.
again.
No.
That was passive aggressive wash.
Okay. So, yeah, really? What's that about, AI?
Yeah, I would definitely like to move it along tonight, so whatever that needs to, how we need to do that.
So you?
I would like it too, but I think to your point, it's just clearly on the record too, in the minutes and everything, so.
Okay.
We can
Good
paper
with
trail.
that?
I mean,
That will change?
if everybody else is comfortable with that language, don't do it on my account, just to I mean, it's clear, I just thought it was redundant, added language, but that's fine.
So it is not possible for a major site plan to make it to the board without going through a review. You can't say this one was perfect today.
Unless you do a design review first. So if you
Conceptual?
a conceptual
Or design
review.
review.
So you plan on submitting a major site plan at some point, but you want to go through the conceptual or design review process first. You're allowed to do that without going to TRC.
Oh, I thought I read that different. I actually, yeah, I read it because that extra language, I read it such that you don't have to do TRC before you come to us for design review.
Correct.
But no, that's not what you're
Correct.
saying. You're saying
No.
you don't have to come to TRC ever unless the planning board requests it prior to the planning board.
No.
It's the other way
Is
around.
that how you read that?
So you have to go to TRC.
You don't have to go to TRC if you're doing a conceptual, and a conceptual doesn't require a butters notice. You don't have to go to TRC if you're coming to the planning board for design review, but that does get an abutter notice. And you don't go to TRC if you're doing a minor change to an approved
Yep.
major site plan.
So if you do 2.01, your next step is an application. Preliminary conceptual consultation.
So yeah, so you
How about you put the word exemption,
yeah, I can.
and then drop it down?
Second sentence come first.
You know what I mean? Like which?
Yeah, I can put the verb closer to the beginning of the sentence instead of the end. So yeah, so I will put a clause there that says exemptions, and then reword it to.
So if you go to the 2.01 and do that, you do not have to go to TRC before an application.
Correct. So if you want to do preliminary conceptual or design review, you do not have to go to TRC.
Unless it goes to the planning board and they ask it to go to TRC.
No. So
Oh, you can't even.
so they go through that process, and it ends up that it's a major site plan. The next step is TRC.
They want to move forward with it.
They want, yeah, it's like, okay, we're a good spot, I think we understand, we want to go to TRC now. We will go to TRC.
So 2.01 still has to go to TRC.
Where are you on 2.01?
Yeah.
It's just the preliminary
This section.
conceptual consultation.
Yeah, so the
Oh.
way, yeah, I think it's like you guys.
Oh,
talk
you're at
past
the
each
top
other.
of the,
Yeah.
Yeah, if
oh,
you do,
nothing's
Yeah.
changed in here.
Yeah.
This is relative to the
No,
statute.
I know it's
right?
identical.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, if you come to the planning board for the preliminary conceptual consultation, which is in B1,
Mm-hmm.
which
Yeah.
is 2.01, right? That is preliminary.
Correct.
Yeah,
You do or do not have to go to TRC
Do not.
next.
after,
No, do not.
so he's saying after the preliminary, then do you go to a TRC before application?
No, I'm saying you don't. You don't have to.
oh,
That's what
This-
he's reading as. You would still, so that's, I think you guys strong match each other. If you're doing a preliminary or design review, before you get to that point, no TRC is required.
Right.
That's what his clause is saying. Just because you did a
You have to do
preliminary
it after.
design doesn't let you skip the
There's a
TRC
major.
later.
Yeah.
If it's a major. It's just saying those things earlier don't require TRC either. TRC's separate thing from those.
right.
Try that again.
No, I mean, I understand. It seems straightforward, but we should just.
It's almost as if it should come after the major review section.
The exemption?
No, the whole technical review should be 2.06, like you go through, to Jeff's point, you go through preliminary, you go through design review, you go to minor review, then you go to major review, and then after that, you gotta go.
Yeah, it's like preliminary is optional, design review is optional, technical review committee mandatory if it's a major site plan.
To Bill's point, if we, it is the RSA's that allow preliminary, design, minor, and major,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
So to Bill's point, if those
Put
are
it
all kept
after minor.
together, and then technical review is after all of the 4 types of reviews. Where's boundary line adjustment review?
Yeah.
That's in
Because
subdivisions.
it's really fun, all right, okay. But for site plan review, those are the 4. Those are under our planning board, the 4 types of applications, right?
What if we did preliminary design, minor, technical review, major?
Because ultimately it's for the major, right? That's really what it's for.
Yeah.
But also it could be a minor.
Unless,
Unless I have, like, if
right.
it,
I say put it toward the end.
I think
Yeah.
Bill's right. I think if you just
Bill's
take
right.
out the mention of it, it doesn't make it confusing. Makes it not confusing.
How about we move section 203 to after 205?
I'm sorry, I just don't, I'm just trying to understand your confusion there. But if you guys are confused,
I'm not confused,
I mean,
I
if you
think.
break it up, preliminary conceptual consultation are exempt from the TRC review process.
Right, so,
Is that
Just say
before or
that.
after? That's what I mean. Like, the way I read it is, oh, if I do this, I don't have to do this. I can move right on to my application.
and that's what the sentence says, but the
Right.
word exempt is at the end of the sentence. Right. You go to the other page.
No, I know.
Yeah, okay,
That's
yeah.
why I skipped all the middles. So we
Yeah.
broke it down to just one of these items.
Yeah.
Preliminary
Are-
conceptual consultation
Yeah.
are exempt from the TRC review process.
Period.
Okay, so what, I think Leg and
But they're
you-
not exempt from it because they do still have to go through it.
No,
but
they don't
after.
have to, that's
Right.
discretion.
Yeah, but after they have to, right? Well, that's what I just asked. So, like, if it goes to the preliminary conceptual consultation,
Yep.
they do that.
They do.
don't have to go to TRC if it's a major site plan.
Correct. No, they do have to.
See?
No, no.
It is.
No.
If it's a major site plan application,
But it's.
because
It
conceptual
doesn't
and
say that.
design reviews are not an
Yes.
application.
I
So
know,
yes,
I know
right?
that.
So they do preliminary conceptual.
So somebody comes in here with something that's obviously major,
Yep.
right? It's this giant thing, and they go to preliminary conceptual consultation.
Yep.
They still have to go to TRC.
At some point, yes.
They're not exempt from it.
No.
Correct.
It
This
says
is a
they're
major.
exempt from it.
Why?
No,
Where
it
do you
says
read that?
those meetings
Yeah.
are exempt from the TRC process. Those,
Right.
the
Clearly.
preliminary is exempt from it.
Well, that's
So-
what I mean. That doesn't. Why?
This is just telling you which of 1, 2, 4, and 5 of those 4 things. It's only saying the major requires TRC. Everything else is exempt from the TRC. So it's just telling you when to
Well,
apply
even-
203.
I see where Jeff's coming now. So if they had a major site plan and say, all right, I'm doing preliminary consultation, and then it's like, okay, well, am I exempt from TRC because I don't know.
He's reading it as you can do preliminary in lieu of the TRC, even though it's a major site plan. It's one read.
No,
That is not the
Yeah, I
intent of
don't-
that.
because it's 2 different processes.
Is that what you're thinking, Jeff? When you read that sentence? What about the sentence is making you think that somebody would be exempt?
Because it says preliminary conceptual consultation.
That is exempt.
Yeah, those things are
Design
exempt
review
from
is
it.
exempt.
The TRC
A minor
doesn't
site
have
plan
to.
app
Yeah.
with any minor revisions.
Let me phrase
I
it a
agree
different
that
way.
It's not exempt.
It's not that this says
What?
it's not that this says doing a preliminary conceptual design review minor site
Exempts
plan
you
exempts you from a TRC for a major site plan. It doesn't say that. It says those things are exempt from the process. It doesn't say doing those exempts you from said.
Like you don't go to TRC, well, you don't go to a TRC.
Yeah, but that seems inherent. Maybe that would maybe just say minor site plan applications and minor revisions to approved major site plans are exempt from the TRC review process. Because they literally are exempt from the TRC review process the whole way through.
What
You
are?
can take a major site plan to preliminary consultation.
But what are you saying is exempt all the way through? Because a minor's not if the planning director determines that it has to come here.
Well, this
Yeah, I
is-
guess that's kind of covered.
well, this says
also,
that they
though,
are.
It says here that, yeah, it
No,
is.
Minor site plan applications.
But then you
Right.
go
along with minor revisions, approved major site plans.
Go to
exempt-
number 2.
Yeah,
under
review
that.
discretion.
So you could take,
Because they may require TRC review for those exempt applications prior to the application. So even though they're saying that they're
but
exempt,
it's still
those
talking about-
2 elements may not be exempt.
so can't you strike those first 2? Preliminary conceptual consultation and design review, because they're inherently prior in the process
Should-
to TRC. I don't know, I think having them
Is-
there adds, Confusion.
Before Bart starts changing this, does anybody, is Jeff the only one that is of this position? 'Cause otherwise I want to move on.
Yeah, I can support how he's reading it, because I read it the same way he did.
So you did, okay.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that I'm a good reader either, but
No,
I
but
did read it that
if it's
way.
not clear to a majority of the members
Yeah, it's
of the
not gonna be
board,
clear to the
or
end
even a
user.
few
Yeah.
members, let's modify it so it's very clear.
Yeah.
I think more that's the direction, Bart, we want you to modify or clarify what is exempt, what is not exempt, and where you have the discretion as to when it's not exempt. I think
So
that's what I'm
I
hearing
would-
Jeff say.
I
He's
would
not
think- I
clear.
would think that if you were required to go to TRC for a preliminary conceptual consultation, you'd say it in the preliminary conceptual consultation part. You would say, this must go to
Yeah.
technical review. Because you could exempt everything under the sun, like 5 billion things as an exemption, you know what I mean?
I think
Like-
everyone's in agreement that no one goes to TRC for a conceptual or design review, correct? We all under agreement with that? Okay.
So I'm
So
just
I
gonna
think
remove
the
those.
direction is,
That becomes a major.
I'm just gonna remove those from that second sentence, and the new sentence is gonna read, minor site plan applications along with minor revisions to approved major site plans are exempt from the TRC review process.
period.
Clear?
I think that clears it up a lot.
Yep.
Okay,
Because there are.
okay, we're good with that? Good
except C-
discussion?
Except C
May
number
wanna
two.
We're good,
modify that.
okay.
That sentence, notwithstanding applicants for those
They could
exempt.
Yeah,
yeah.
They could request it, okay.
And then the other two sections specifically say copy if applicable for minor and copy of the TRCs under major. So it tells you that's part of the completed application. So it is captured to your point, whereas the others don't say you need that.
Right.
So I think
Everybody good?
Thank you.
Good.
Sir.
I think so. All right, let's
Yeah,
move
thank
along.
you.
'Cause
who knew 2
yeah.
words?
On page 9.
Sorry. Okay, let's get down, now we're on 20, and you did finish that last sentence, right? 203A, you must have changed that.
I think given all the
A4.
different times for exempt
Yeah, no,
contracts.
the A4 doesn't have a full sentence. Right. A4.
Okay. Let me read it for a
So
second.
what's that? That's
In the instance of
the
Shall
applicant
submit-
shall submit
fee.
fee, required fee.
Yeah.
Did everybody hear that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. And then B3, you're gonna add electronic copies. Is there a time frame for TRC review? So somebody is requesting TRC review, obviously as an application, we have a time frame, but what is the time frame that the applicant can expect the
Yeah, so-
TRC to meet or review?
Yeah, so typically, it's not, written here, but it's, we would meet and then have that one meeting, then we would all jointly agree if we would need another meeting or not.
So at what point, when the applicant requests TRC, is it within 30 days? I mean, what's reasonable? Because I think the applicant should know that, I know I've got to go to the TRC because it's 21 days that they can come before the board.
Correct.
Should it be 21 days?
I agree. I was thinking the same
Or
thing with the
30
shortest
days?
time frame an applicant can expect.
Right.
Because they
Yeah.
have to do TRC now as well
Right.
as the application. And this RSA controls after the application.
So what would, I mean, and the 21 days is more about a butter's notice and your review. So
Yes.
what would be a reasonable time period to call a
14 days.
TRC? 14 days, okay.
And is it calendar days or business days?
I do probably calendar days.
Because then it's consistent with everything else, we
Yeah.
don't call it business days.
Yeah.
Okay, does everybody go with 14 days? Somebody requests, sends Bart an email, I'd like to have a TRC meeting, whatever, they're meeting with you anyway, but this is a formal request for a TRC meeting.
There's so
It's
many
gonna be
days
hard
for
to get everybody's
approval,
schedule, but.
like 60 days.
So 14 days is reasonable. So did you feeling
Well,
21 days because you're calling TRC meeting?
That's just 21.
21 and then it's consistent with?
Yeah, RSA.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
Is there a maximum number of TRC reviews?
no, so there isn't. It's just more, are we at a good spot? If everyone agrees we have to meet again, they would meet.
You don't think
Yeah.
you don't think an applicant can be like the town dragged this on forever and I lost my opportunity because they made me go to TRC 15 times.
No.
It's always gotta say that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I know how there's the
No,
time frame
that
that we
could
have
definitely
to,
happen.
there's a time frame that we have to, like, once an application's
So
accepted.
Well, I mean-
here's how I see it happening. Okay, is we have a TRC. Say we get I don't like because I'm done. I thank you for your comments, and then we're not going to force them. Then we have our review letter, and just say here's our outstanding issues that weren't resolved to the planning board, and then we go.
Yeah, because they can apply any time, but as long as they've gone to TRC first.
Yeah. And we get and the plan and that review letter is part of the packet that the planning board
Right.
receives. And
Only required to go once. They can come more if they ask for more.
yeah, so typically it's my experience. We just had this. It's like we still have some outstanding issues. Let's meet again after you guys make provisions. And they're like, yes, everyone agreed. Because I think, honestly, not everyone may think this, but I think the applicants want everything figured out.
They want to
prior
come, when they
yeah.
give a butters notice and
Yeah.
have the hearing, they don't want a 1-year hearing.
Yeah.
With
Right.
multiple extension requests. Right, 60 days, they know it's done. Wasn't that a fair statement?
Yeah, I would think so.
And are they already basically just coming to you and the other town officials, like kind of piecemeal to get things addressed, whereas this would have them all kind of in one place?
All in one room.
Yeah, it's good. I just want to make sure you have a different board.
Yep.
That in 15 years or 10 years, that's not very applicant friendly. It tries to drag the TRC review process on.
I think not only is it good, it's more consistent with how developers go through a process with other communities in the area. So it's not, it's like, oh, I gotta go before the Newmarket Planning Board, I gotta get on the agenda, I need a complete application, then I go through TRC. And then I'm gonna ask for an extension, because I can't do it all in 60 days.
It's all fantastic. I just wanted to make sure that
Yeah, I think
It's a-
future
it's a-
members.
it's a
Yeah.
moving process. The applicant doesn't say, you held me up for 2 months.
I
So I
think
didn't know
that's
we needed
just
to cap it.
on us that are on the TRC, whoever that may be, in Bart to kind of, if it seems like it's losing its guiding post, to kind of keep the bumpers on for that.
Definitely.
Okay, we're all going TRC? All right, 204 minor review. That was just the one change on that. And I think the same on major review was just the addition. Okay.
Fee schedule.
Same thing.
B, I think should be no discussion there. And then the burden on recording is now up to the applicant, correct?
Yes.
Okay, good. Yeah, I'm on page 14. Under, Bart crossed out. Complete application, no changes, this is all just renumbering. Regional notice, we had talked about that. No, that's just more consistent.
These just won't be recorded, right?
Isn't
Site
that
plan?
making?
Site
Yeah.
plan is one.
Yeah.
Yep. 2.1.
It's almost impossible to do already.
Okay. 2.17, notice of decision. And I don't know if it goes here, but I had made we don't have anything about vesting criteria.
No.
Where would
Just
that be
follow the-
appropriate to be added? If anywhere, I mean, it's just nowhere in the regs.
Yeah, I think it's just an RSA.
Decision?
Decision, yeah.
Yeah,
So
so maybe
is-
on decision, including, any vesting criteria, or maybe put a vesting?
Just reference the RSA.
Okay. And so that would be under 216, right?
216.
7.
Because under decision.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll keep it under
216.
decision, and then
Okay. So you'll add the
D.
RSA D.
Yeah.
Okay. Everyone good on that? Okay. All right. design standards.
So this one's a little new.
Okay.
We wanted to clean up the language here on driveways, just more consistent with policy.
Everybody good on that? And then under parking, I think we just discussed that. My only comment on that was just to, this is minor, village corridor,
Yeah, see.
capitalization, same on commercial, or downtown commercial overlay district, all caps. Okay, that's just more edited. Then we're coming to, look on page 23.
Yeah.
Planning, go ahead.
Yeah, just for the transit one, since Coast is limited, it doesn't have a presence that it used to have. It's just, and hopefully in the future, we get back to a more robust public transportation. It's more of a recommendation.
So a may.
Yeah, may instead of shall.
Okay, pretty good on that one. Okay. Coming to, everything else was just kind of updates.
Jeff?
I think we have people. So, is it entrance onto a single road for a driveway?
Yes.
Because I think we have them onto like places where it's
Okay.
Right.
on the 2 roads, there's 3 entrances.
Are we back on page 18, design standards?
So for
What, do you have a recommended change?
I don't know if I should say from a single public road, from an individual public road. Like if you have 2 entrances.
Where are you, Jeff?
Sorry,
What-
it's
yeah,
B,
A B?
3.01B.
Okay, and how
And
do
then
you
where it
want?
says not more than 2 driveways shall be permitted from a public road onto a lot with a commercial or mixed-use development.
Okay, and how are you proposing to change that?
I'm not exactly sure, but there are places, I believe, in town already where there are maybe 3 entrances, but they're onto 2 different roads. So I didn't know if this would limit the lot to only 2 entrances.
when they redevelop, those are grandfathered at that point. If they already exist.
Can you, okay.
Yeah. So if they're looking for redevelopment, then they would have to adhere to the standards as they get away with.
They'd have to take away one of those
So this
Well,
is
is that
consistent
good or
with
bad?
policy.
Correct.
with policy.
This is consistent with policy.
DPW.
As to driveway permits.
Again, those probably happened a long time ago, but as current policy stands, it's more consistent now.
And obviously, the planning board has the right to waive any of our regulations.
Just if it makes sense to have a 3rd entrance
Yeah.
into a different road, we can still do it.
Right. So that's where the waiver comes in.
Alright.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless if it's a state road, they're
Yeah.
gonna have final say.
So we may waive this regulation for some one application for some
If it's
weird
justified.
property that knows, okay? Well, all right. We, where were we? Page 24 back?
I think we're at
Yeah, or
yeah,
25, sorry. 308 water supply, you're just updating
titles.
titles.
And then
Multifamily, right?
Yep.
Okay, so that's expanding. And non-residential space.
Yeah, I just basically combined
Right.
them. Yeah.
So all development now, doesn't matter what the size is, on floodplain,
hmm
that's the change.
Yep.
Comments about that,
That was based on conversation.
okay?
Yep.
And the same on the sediment erosion control, I think we had wanted to delete that.
Yep, that goes to now reference our stormwater.
Right.
What number are you at?
I am on page 27, the changes, 3.14.
So now it just points to the stormwater regs.
Mhm. Okay. The next change is coming up on page 31. We just, we added the architectural and aesthetic to the village quarter district.
Yep,
You know,
yep,
that's-
yep.
fencing. You have B1. I think that, you want that to be BC.
Well, we still have a little B1 on 108, so,
Oh, B1
Yeah.
and BC?
yeah,
Okay.
and BC.
Does anyone
yeah.
see where I am on that? That's page 32 at the end on 6A. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so obviously M2 came out. Just on 401? Oh, sorry, 402, material and number. Just that should be consistent with 203B3. Okay. Then on page 34, where are we at?
06.
Yeah, 406, approval sheets, Bart would now be signing.
Or you, or whoever's
Oh,
chair.
whoever, okay.
Yep.
That precipitated this change, didn't it? Okay. All right. What's the variances? Yeah, that's good, okay. Oh, that was good. So we always talk about scale. So Bart added in alternative sizing clearly effectively depicts. All right, so somebody, they don't have to come for a waiver. On
I make
page
one
35.
Oh, Jeff?
on 406.
Yeah.
Planning board, should we change if we're saying that in letter A, it's an endorsement? Should we put endorsement instead of sign?
Should we put, it says endorsement, are you saying?
And then on top it says will sign?
Endorse?
Or should it say reserved for the signature?
Mhm.
No, so this is the action is
Or signature?
consistent.
Yeah, endorse or
Or
sign.
the
Yeah.
So sign will be changed. And so the 4.06 first sentence
Okay.
after will be endorse. Or whether you want to sign.
Approved signature, I don't know.
Yeah. As long as
Yeah.
they're consistent,
Endorsement
it doesn't.
seems a little.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't like
Endorsing it.
I don't like endorsement.
You don't like endorse?
No, I'm not, yeah, we're just signing the sheet.
Sign. Okay.
So then A, it maybe change to signature?
Yeah.
Yeah. Board signature.
Endorsements, that's old school.
Yeah, okay.
That's how it is in another state.
Good. We're not in Maine.
I know.
Okay. Okay, so getting back up. He had a paper digital plottable, that was from last meeting. Did we, on a B2, 4.1B2, did we also want to see buffers on that, on the plans? The delineation of the buffers? We hadn't discussed that.
I think it's good.
And buffers.
Does everybody want to add that? Anyone not want to add it?
Is these are
Associated
setbacks?
buffers.
Mhm. Inclusion
Again, that's what's
signification.
included with the site info. We're delineating. So do you want to see buffers on the plan?
And associated
Yeah.
buffers. So after drained soils,
And
And
associated.
associated buffers.
Yeah, I think that's important because it has
Okay.
impact on the development.
I think a lot of people consider those along with setback lines, but I think that it's good to make the distinction because the buffers are no cut.
Yep.
The dirt and the
Right.
setbacks you can cut.
Correct.
Supposed to be.
Okay.
You're correct, though.
I wanted to add on the next page, number 11, under B, the test pits, if applicable, should also be shown.
Okay, 17?
No, because it should be on, or showing, well, what do we have here? We have existing
The
conditions.
existing.
Oh, so it would be proposed. Could be both. Well, somewhere.
Well, would it be proposed
Existing.
as a template?
Yeah.
Because you're doing that to
That's
do
right.
some
So
kind of expansion or
proposed, so that's gonna
addition.
be.
I think it's 17.
17.
So I don't have to
Thank
renumber.
Okay,
Like, so-
17.
Because those would be
So that's C.
proposed, they wouldn't actually have them done
Yeah.
before they get the plan, is that correct?
Correct. They shouldn't be an existing condition.
Yeah.
Does the proposed site plan shouldn't that show setbacks and buffers? So you can see the proposed improvements in relation to the setbacks and
Well, that's
buffers?
why I'm saying the existing conditions would,
Well,
the test bits would be done before they,
Usually before.
yeah, before they're actually, you would, just like you would hydraulic soils, you would show the test pits and the results of the test pits as an
that-
existing condition. You're not gonna do the test pits after the fact.
Yeah, I was asking, I didn't know which one it was.
something
Yeah,
like
so
11.
put it back to B11. Okay. All right. And then Jeff, setbacks were up under B.
No, but in C though, the proposed site plan should show,
Why would any setbacks change?
they wouldn't change, but they would need to be shown along with the improvements.
They're shown on the existing condition.
You'd also
Yeah, but
want
they're
them on
not.
proposed.
You'd also want them on the proposed.
So you see where the improvements in relation
So
to the setbacks.
everything,
Yeah, it's all.
everything on there would
almost
be-
not- You don't need to see the existing building if they're gonna tear it down. Like, there's some things that you
Right.
wanna see the proposed site and any restrictions to development.
See
on
what
the
we had
proposed
somewhere.
site. I mean, people are gonna do it. I think people do it anyway. Everything I've ever seen. I thought it was on this list. I'm surprised it's not.
Here we go. So I'm going to do under 14B, say
Mhm.
indicate the zoning district, including applicable overlay districts and
setbacks.
setbacks.
Or-
14B.
Oh, down there, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, not just notes, so you're gonna show the lines graphically. You'd wanna see the
Oh,
setback
right.
line graphically
Yeah.
and in relation to the.
So make it. So I'll change
Change it.
14.
15, and add foot
Yeah.
setbacks.
Setbacks and buffers. Yeah. That's what I don't, I mean, it's kind of within B, but not really. Because the overlay districts have associated buffers, typically, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not always, but.
All right, everybody good with that? Those, okay.
So I have setbacks and associated buffers for it'll be the new 14.
Okay, running through 37, recording amendments, any questions there? 39. It's all kind of administrative stuff. 40, we get into checklist. My only comment there was to make sure the
I gotta
checklists
update that.
all match the updated regulations. Okay, everybody good with site plan changes? And I have a motion to approve the site plan.
Put them together.
You wanna do
because
that?
they're notes together.
Okay. That, subdivision. Alright.
One thing in the definition, notice your bio retention is the old one and not the same.
Subdivisions.
Where are you?
Subdivision, 103, fire retention, it's not the same as your site plan.
We'll update it.
Where are you?
Page
103
2,
what?
bioretention area.
Bioretention, okay.
Update.
So I think, so general comment is that I would make is that all the changes agreed to on the site plan are updated for the subdivision regs to match the previously discussed changes to the site plan.
Any redundant, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
To make sure that they're updated to match.
Yep.
Yeah, we don't have to discuss it again.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
Alright. So is anything
I see
new?
yours. Oh, yeah.
All,
Sorry.
yeah,
all right.
everything that we just
I was trying to
noted
think of
in
what
site
was.
plan
What was similar? I think
Well-
most of the stuff was similar.
Yeah, I think a lot of it was cut and paste, right?
Yeah, because they're based. So
Yeah.
this is what we're gonna do. Can we have this conversation before?
Yeah.
How does the board feel combining site and subdivision regulations?
Oh, yeah, 'cause there's so much redundancy.
Like,
Yeah, I think seeing all the duplication here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does seem like it causes some confusion at times of which thing you're falling under.
Yeah.
Would that
What-
make that better
No,
on the
no,
applicant?
because
What's easier for what's easier for the applicant to go
Because
to?
I mean, we just had this essentially where there was some back and forth with applicant, which one they should fall under.
Yeah, I think it'd be easier clicking on one document and then within the documents, maybe a little more dynamic and you just go, all right, we're in the subdivision section. Like, because there's so much overlap. So if there's anything specific to subdivisions, we can get into it. You know, that's a future project, but I think it might be worthwhile exploring.
Oh, you didn't want to do that right now?
I thought he was talking about doing it.
Yeah.
So,
But all stormwater's on
I was like,
there.
it's probably okay, but I want to think about it.
Yeah, that's a big discussion, I think.
Yeah. So yeah,
Let's keep them separate.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm not opposed to it in the future, but definitely
Yeah,
not.
that's a future discussion. I didn't mean
Oh,
tonight.
okay.
Not tonight.
Okay.
No.
Wow.
No.
Okay.
No,
Do
no.
it, so.
Yeah.
Let me revisit that. Bring that next year after master
No,
plan.
no.
Okay. All right. So TRC obviously will be updated. I'm good with anybody jumping in here.
Yeah, I was
Trying to see what
You got the 104B1 again, Bart, Secretary to Director of Planning and Community, okay?
Can't see if there's anything different.
I don't think you had anything else that,
Anything that's
Plus, it
It's just a
does have
reference.
location test bits.
in this one?
Yeah, the subdivision does have the test bits
Oh, yeah.
one. The
Yeah.
site plan just didn't
Oh,
acknowledge that.
correct.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's on page 3 and 4.
Yeah, because typically seen with subdivisions.
Gotcha. Okay.
Subdivision has residential open space, you know, so.
Yeah, I didn't touch that besides a reference. Just so that our ordinance moves
Oh,
along
yeah.
with the state.
right. Okay, so any other modifications?
So process-wise, public comment, if there is any. And then
Oh, yeah,
after that-
sorry.
Yeah.
I'll open the public comment. I'll open the public comments on any proposed amendments to the site plan or subdivision regulations.
None were received by mail or email. So,
Oh, okay, thank you. Hearing none, close the public comments. A public hearing on the proposed amendments to the changes to the subdivision and site plan regulations. Appendix A and B of our municipal code. Any other comments before I entertain a motion to approve these as modified this evening?
Is the survey monumentation seen as a minimum standard?
Jeff, where are you, please?
305, 3.05 subdivision. Probably
Yes.
it's just a standard.
most. I've never said a half inch diameter rod. I've never said 5/8 or larger. Never been in compliance. And people's front lawns, I've set them down in.
So do you wanna
inches
say
instead of
minimum?
inches.
Are you wanting to say minimum?
Well, yeah, that was all I was gonna say is minimum, and if someone has a 6x6 bound, and so see why that would be bad.
So is that what you're proposing, adding a minimum?
Yeah, I mean, if people think it's even necessary, but if the board doesn't care if someone sets 5/8 and no
Well-
one's measuring, or someone sets a 6x6 bound.
Well,
so-
5/8 is
Just wanna
more
find
than
it.
a half.
Yeah,
Minimum's
This-
good? You're good?
I'm definitely good with it being.
Yeah.
Okay, a minimum of
be
half
minimum.
inch. Just adding a minimum in there.
It's kind of it's like the standard is bigger, so it doesn't matter.
You were talking about the actual like garage, you put in the ground to know where the corner is,
Yeah.
or the reference point.
I mean, in the woods, we always leave them up a couple inches, but people's lawns, everything is set flush or below grade.
Okay.
I mean, if they have any board members who can go out and look at tape measure and say it's not compliant.
Pretty sure mine's more than 2 inches.
Any other discussion on changes? Okay. Can I have a motion to approve the site plan regulations and subdivision regulations as amended this evening? Or as agreed to the changes this evening?
I motion to approve the site plan and subdivision regulations as discussed and amended this evening. And agreed to.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, thank you. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much. You're good, Bart?
Very good.
Thank you for all that work. Thank you
feel
for
some weight.
everybody, getting, reading through before the meeting.
When did they take effect?
Right
now. Okay, next on the agenda is,
Whereas is like a week or so after.
well, there's 30-day appeal, right?
That too.
Meeting schedule. Bart has, everybody has in front of them a proposed meeting schedule.
I don't think there's any conflicts this year besides March.
Okay.
Town meeting day.
So the second Tuesday works, and we'll continue to have workshops until we get through the January.
What's the standing time? Seven.
Okay, old business, new business, committee reports. Jeff, anything from Concom?
Saturday before Mother's Day, Saturday, May 9th, will be the Turtle Fest,
Okay.
which was a good turnout last year, and they're hoping for a good one again this year. We did discuss whether or not Shannon Park, a little bit for future discussion, should be turned over to the town for management. Back over to Concom for future discussion, which may impact planning board, future planning board stuff. That's it.
Any applications before Concom?
The one will be coming with the 200 New Road.
Okay.
Not yet. Still going through.
JCIP?
Nothing.
They haven't submitted the wetland application?
They have to the state.
Shouldn't that come to the,
It will, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
sorry.
It will.
Energy.
Yeah, so we had Clean Energy NH rep come to our meeting last time. It's actually very informative, very helpful. So one of the things, there was a free, I kept calling it a different term, but kind of like free evaluations that were put on by, I don't even think I wrote down the business, but basically kind of look at what opportunities the town had for different energy opportunities. So one of the things is probably going to look into more is a kind of a microgrid structure between maybe the school, police department, rec center, where they can kind of pool some of their energy production and usage to make it more viable as an opportunity when you can kind of pool some of those larger asks with property available, as well as looking at solar over in the school parking lot is an opportunity to pursue. I think Oyster River School has a similar structure that might be a viable option. So town was going to look into getting that free appraisal because it was, I think, by the end of the year, that opportunity, and then I'll move through with stuff like that. And there's some other like group net metering type things. So yeah, maybe opportunities for the town to pursue related to like solar and energy used to offset town electricity expense from Eversource.
Which school, the high school or the elementary school? Or both?
I'm trying to remember what they said to me. I think it was
Well,
the
right now it's a high school.
high school. Yeah, our high school, the Oyster River, is I
Is that what
think.
you're asking?
Yeah.
Yeah. The Oyster River is the middle school.
But it'd be
But our school would be the high school?
Yeah, it'd be the one across
Because it's next to the
152
rec
from the high
center,
school.
next to the Sunrise Sunset Center, next to the police station.
So you'd be able to tie a lot of those together electrically pretty
On the
easily.
roof or?
No, I'd be in the parking lot across the street,
Carport?
like where the buses, like a carport, or like where the
Oh,
buses
okay.
park during the day. There's a lot of like land space to build that.
Oh, yeah, the structures.
Yeah, and I guess the Oyster River's had good
Hey.
things.
I only bring it out, it looks like, yeah, I mean, the elementary school seems like a sunnier spot. I mean, it's more open.
Yeah, I mean the one across from the high school, that lot, it's pretty large
that
and
is, that
open.
lot is open, yeah.
Yeah. So it was pretty interesting to talk to the clean energy NH rep. She's pretty knowledgeable, a lot of good opportunities there. That was all.
I should have Bill report on TRC because it's not an agenda item that
Yeah.
should have, no, it has.
That's something, I guess.
Or just the, just want to report TRC now.
We met,
Yeah.
had a good meeting, a lot of issues, collecting comments, putting together comments.
Yeah, so we're gonna schedule a new one once they come back with responses to our comments. So right now it's just getting everyone's comments together and then shipping them their way.
Okay, great, thank you. Scott, anything that council or planning board needs to be aware of?
Yep, so as you know, we had a sewer line that runs from Shanda Park under the river across, and it had a big issue, it clogged up, and we had to dig it all up and everything. And so we're in the process now of negotiating, running a pipe along the river up to that footbridge, and then running it over the bridge. It's probably gonna require a new bridge. That bridge was purchased from a place in the Midwest where it went over fresh water, and apparently this is like salty water, and it's apparently corroding the bridge a lot faster than was expected. The Energy and Tourism Committee has gotten a $5,000 grant.
The arts?
I can't remember, they keep changing the name. It's the
Arts and cultural, okay.
No, it has
But
tourism.
not
in it.
energy.
It has no, did I
Okay.
say energy?
Yeah,
I'm
it's
sorry.
okay, just wanted to correct
The
it.
art, culture, tourism, and there's one other thing. They got a $5,000 grant, and they're gonna make this thing where they have individual tiles, and then each, like, they get individual people to paint these tiles, and then they have some big, like, stainless frame, and then all the tiles are mounted onto the frame, and it makes like this mosaic thing, and they're gonna post that downtown. And then for us, the big one is that the town council approved the 2027 budget, which is still going through the process and has to get passed, but at least that's, the next step for us.
So they've approved the budget to go onto the warrant article?
Yeah.
Can I ask what the progress is for the prime wetland adoption?
Progress or what?
Adopting the new prime wetland maps.
So we're gonna go December, I think. We're shooting for December.
Yeah, we haven't discussed that.
Yeah. Okay. So,
Bart, anything on your report?
but just on that, it's just a noticing thing. So you can get all the notices together. Yeah. So Housing Champions, we had a ceremony.
No, yes.
It was last week. It's nice. So again, recognition from the state, the work we're doing, and we had a few, representatives, state senator, and BAE come and present us with the award. So that makes us more competitive for future funding opportunities, like for infrastructure and whatnot, or DOT projects as well.
Good.
So it's nice to get that recognition. And
Senior housing open?
oh yeah, senior housing opens on Thursday. So Mike had I'm not sure, I have to see who's coming, but 242 South Main Street. They're opening, I think residents are going to start moving in on Friday.
Oh.
Yeah, so they're going to have a ceremony. You're all welcome if you want to come. I know, I think Val's coming, but, oh, I guess the quorum thing, so only one of you.
No. Sorry,
Two.
we're not going to the planning board.
All
Do
the
they
fun
not-
stuff.
Do they have it mostly rented already?
No, I don't think so. I think they said starting a few, some folks coming in, so not the whole, but yeah. And then I don't know if you saw it, but on Main Street there's a Timberland boot. So
Yeah.
Love it.
yeah, so I think that's pretty cool.
How did that come about?
That was through Mike Hoffman. We reached out to the company, and they agreed to pay for the casting. So yeah, just kind of honor it, its origins. So
Yeah,
It's
looks
officially
great.
size 16.
yeah,
Oh, that's funny. That's
And
funny.
then looking weird.
Yeah. Good little-
clown boot.
Yeah, trivia question.
Yeah, that's it.
For Newmarket. Newmarket's
There
getting
you
some
go.
great coverage. Yeah, on Chronicle last
That's right.
week.
Was it Hopes as well? Still. And yeah, I think town council tomorrow they're discussing the warrants, the rest of the other warrants, besides budget. So, and still waiting on LCHIP for the Rosa project.
Oh,
So we should.
didn't they announce the
No,
awards?
not yet.
Last
No,
week?
not yet.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, but we're waiting. Yeah,
Um,
and.
Do they not announce them all at once?
They do.
They're
So they're
funding?
gonna have an award ceremony at some point.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so they have, all
Yes.
right. It's not
So we're
public.
waiting. Yes,
Gotcha.
we're waiting on their response.
I'm not even talking about that one.
In the warrant,
But the warrant, it's going to warrant too. So they'll be
Yeah.
on a.
Okay.
They'll be presented tomorrow at town council. And then yeah, that's about it. That's all I got.
Just really nothing on the chair report, other than just, I notified Bart, and Bart helped me with a situation in Durham as to a lot of, like scams happening, for, applicants getting requested to pay invoices from towns relative to applications before a planning board. And it's basically a scam for wire fraud. So Bart is aware of it, and then he'll take appropriate action
Yep.
on that, and make sure that no applicant will ever be asked to wire money to the town. Okay.
Yeah, I do have one more thing.
Okay.
Michael Scully, he informed me that he's going to resign from the
Oh,
planning board, so he's got a lot of commitments. He said, so.
sorry to hear that.
Yep.
Um,
So next
we'll-
agenda, our next meeting.
Okay, so you'll have a formal resignation, we'll
Yep.
take that up and then
Yep.
appoint an alternate.
I'll bring up something on the other
The
business.
new business, yes.
So I'd like to suggest that we review, potentially update the wetland overlay district ordinance next year. Take a look at it, see if, whether our buffer setbacks, the 25, 50,
100 for,
Prime.
75. But structures are different, so there's a 75-foot buffer for prime. Plus,
75,
Yeah.
25 for
Poorly.
poorly drained, 50 for very.
Correct.
I just wonder where will we stand on that compared to other towns? Are we in the middle? Should we consider increasing them? And then there are areas of town that we, didn't look at for prime wetlands, particularly some coastal areas that, I guess under the assumption that they were protected by state regulations, but I don't know. We should review that again, because I don't know that the state protection is going to be as good as prime wetlands.
Sounded like from Mark West that some of that has changed too recently.
Right.
Yeah, we have like shoreland.
If, I think any chart would be, what are the state regs? And then what are
Yeah.
the surrounding Great Bay community regs? So
Yeah.
if we're looking at how we are,
Easy to
there's
just.
been a lot of debate in Durham. It'll be an ongoing process. The one of the elements was relative to contributions from runoff, if you will, or even wildlife corridors, for regulations that impact private property owners that towns are not responsible for, and where's the major non-point, sources coming from.
Mm-hmm.
And to have that open conversation.
And I don't know if this would require money, professional services or not.
Might, but something to look for over the year. I know Jeff and I had conversations on setbacks to buffers.
Because,
Yeah.
state, when you do the chart, right, the state has no setbacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was, yeah, well, yeah, in regards to some people like building so close to a buffer that you have to impact the buffer that's a no-cut buffer just to build with it built right next to the buffer. It's like,
And then
or should you just increase the buffer?
increase buffer, but couple that with Mark West's presentation, the importance of the buffer and what role it plays.
Right.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd like to see, a goal for the first half of next year.
Oh, should we do that?
Well, let's get through
Goal setting?
master plan.
After master
Goal
plan?
plan, let's do that after the first of the year. No, actually, let's do that after election in March.
Yeah. So April do goal setting. Yeah, that actually line up perfectly.
But I mean, you could be thinking what we need.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but in the interim, as you and Val suggested, put that chart together and see what the other communities are doing and what the state's handling.
And you may not have to reinvent the wheel. I think that chart is being done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think doesn't prep have
Yeah.
it?
No, I think it's being done.
Yeah. How's-
That is a mandate.
It's part of what
That's
you're
my
getting at,
goal.
Bill, is to not rely on the state in the long run to
Yeah.
provide the protections, and
Right.
even if there is a state buffer, maybe.
I think you have to be careful too of unintended consequences of pushing something forward to the state that now the town won't be able to regulate.
Right.
And that is a reality.
Yep.
So it's a,
Both sides.
You
Yeah.
gotta
Assuming that they are protected,
think
but
about the
it's not,
balance.
or giving them the protection that we don't. Right.
or not triggering something that's going to make the state regulate it.
Right.
Regulate towns from being able to regulate it.
Hmm. Well, that's a tricky
That's
one.
the unintended consequence.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just a lot of money that is going behind this.
I don't know. Everybody else, how everybody else feels, but I just think we got some things that keep coming up that we should look at.
I think that one thing we haven't revisited is the open space subdivision regulations.
Oh, we're going to revisit that.
And I think that we'll talk about where priorities that we want Mark to concentrate on, is maybe the board, we all think about our current regulations and how to, and prioritizing, ordinances that should be updated. We'll come up with a priority list and then work on that, and then, because it will go, then, what ordinances go before the town for modifications. Make sense?
Yeah. So, sorry, one other question. On the warrant article about stormwater for Cushing Road.
Yep.
I'm just curious, what is driving that? Is it a flooding issue or is it a regulation issue that we're trying to?
I'm on that committee, but also obviously I live there. There is stormwater damage occurring to private homes from road runoff. And where the town has the MS4 regulations, and that is, there are 2 documented MS4 outflows on that project, but there's actually 4 outflows, all from the road. So that's coming back before. I mean, that warrant article is the same warrant article as last year. The unfortunate,
That's money.
yeah, the unfortunate situation is now it's 15% less money than what would have been. You know,
State money.
state money, there would have been a loan forgiveness. So that's been reduced.
This is
Because of
the
the
road
state.
going out to,
It's Cushing Road and Levelland Drive, it's the actual roads. They have, it's on the schedule, it has been on the schedule for 5 years to be reconstructed, culverts in the road. And so the town was looking at the opportunity to, as part of that project, that got put on hold, because then the town hired the engineer. And then it made, instead of, the ability for the towns to be able to at least get some funding towards the road reconstruction, because it would be part of the stormwater management project. And then the discussion will be, if the warrant article doesn't pass, is it gonna come out of CIP money? So then there's no contribution towards the project from the state. And it's my understanding that the project is, last year was number 2 ranked in the state, and this year is number 1 ranked in the state. It's a project that DES has been, in Underwood, has been going through.
and do you know how much the state is going to contribute? Or?
Well, the town received the 100K for the engineering and design, because that was voted in 3 years ago now. And then that occurred, that all happened, right, the engineering design, and all approved by DES, and the town's involved with that. And then so the implementation, don't quote me, is it like what's the bond article? 1.4?
That's
You
all
know,
right.
Over top of my head, yeah.
And then it would have been 25% loan forgiveness. You can correct me if I'm wrong, and now it's only 15%. So the town has to, the voters have to vote. It lost last year by, I want to say, a handful of votes, 20 something,
30, yeah.
to get the 2/3 approval.
Mhm.
So now the warrant article's back before the voters. Will be in March. But assuming the town's is pushing it forward. And then that would be, that's an implementation bond.
All right, thanks.
And I don't know what the difference is if the project doesn't get done and the town's expending the money anyway to redo the road and all the culverts. If that's,
That's what seems like has to happen. The town can't keep damaging people's homes.
Right.
yeah, well, and
Whatever.
Rick's put the road reconstruction project, after the water line came down, he stopped the road there because it didn't make sense to continue it and then rip it all up if the stormwater project went through.
Right.
Right, or they had to implement it under MS4. So the decision was to stop the road reconstruction at the point where it was torn up, and then just put it on hold.
Tricky.
Very.
I bet if more people understood, I don't think like the word gets out.
Right.
I
Like,
think
more
that's
people
where the
understand that
town's
there's
heading with it, and they've
damage.
hired, actually, I don't know if they've hired or got funds to have the firm out of Portland that does environmental stuff, so they'll be going to the Conservation Commission for endorsement, public outreach, very similar to how all the TIF districts were voted in, is really the public outreach, I think, is what was lacking. In last year's warrant article.
Because it is a big number, and I'm familiar with stormwater stuff and working a lot. And I didn't even know what was going on. I mean, it's so.
I think that was the situation last year,
Yeah.
it just kind of appeared as the warrant article. And there was no real, what was the cost savings to the town?
Or what was the impact of not fixing it? Or, what's happening?
Right.
Like, what's actually happening? Because I know if it was my house and there was stormwater running into it, I'd be like, come on, just vote for it. But
So, I'm.
Yeah.
If anyone has questions, Lindsay Butler would be the town contact.
Yeah, it's coming up tomorrow night to the
Yeah.
town council.
Anything else? If not, I will entertain a motion to
I'd
adjourn.
like to make a motion that we adjourn.
Motion made by Jane, is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Zach. We're a team now. All right, all those in
Get it
favor? Thank you, everyone, and enjoy the holidays.
Everybody-
Everyone's trapped.